Indeed.
Bobbity and boop. Alrighty, welcome back. This is session 54? Yeah, that sounds about right. 54 of
The stream says.
the campaign. We've been at this for a while.
Have we?
Just a little bit.
We're level 7.
We're pre-COVID. That's when
Yeah.
we started, right?
Yeah, we're
Oh
pre-COVID.
god, it has been that long. Anyways, I'm Ominous Eagle. I'm the DM for this campaign. I am joined by my fantastic players, Mel, Not Nathan, Jamie, and Jeanette. We play here every Sunday. We play D&D here more or less every Sunday, swapping back and forth between my campaign, which runs in the evening, or Mel's campaign, which runs in the afternoon, and swapping back and forth each week. My campaign, of course, starts at 5 p.m. PST. Mel's at noon PST. If you're looking to rewatch or catch up on past episodes, subscribers have access to the episodes immediately after the air over on our channel's VODs. Those who aren't subscribers, I upload the episodes to YouTube after they've aired. I'm not even going to say usually a week after they aired. The last one I put up was the guy that was 3 weeks ago. Whoops! I try, but I have a very short attention span. Which is also funny on account of we've done 54 sessions of this.
How short is it?
I have the attention span of, ooh, shiny. Yeah, you can search for us on YouTube, Roll for Severity, or there's a link somewhere down below the stream. Before we get underway, though, a couple additional quick things to go over. Each month we donate a portion of all income generated by Roll for Severity to charity. That includes from direct donations, bits, subscriptions, and sales from our store. This month's charity is Community Health Empowerment and Wellness Project, or the CHEW Project for short. They provide provisions, resources, and education for LGBTQ youth and young adults facing barriers such as mental health, poverty, homelessness, substance abuse, sexual health, and career-related barriers. They also offer no-cost counseling, crisis intervention, peer support, STI testing, drop-in office, basic needs, support, and more. You can find them on their website, chewprojectyeg.org, or on Twitter at chewprojectyeg. Speaking of the store is up on tpublic.com/user/roll4severity, or once again, there's a link somewhere down below the stream. So without further ado, what happened almost a month ago?
Blink wolves.
Yep, the Winter Blink Wolves.
They suck.
Well, we went back to Amnodel, I think.
Yep.
Yes, we just killed the blink wolf so that I could make the bag of holding.
Great. There was a necessary evil.
Yep.
Not even evil. I guess it wasn't that bad. Just, it was a nuisance, but we did it. And now we're heading home. Beanard is missing. So that's a great mystery for Annah.
And hopefully is not a feature of a railroad.
Yeah, we will see.
Now, to be fair, those were two completely unrelated things. I saw that post and I'm like, both Jamie and Not Nathan have been QA in the past. I'm sure they would appreciate this joke of a bug is now a feature. And so I threw it in there, and it wasn't until Sylvania was like, great, you tell us Beanard's missing, and then you post this. Evil DM was like, whoops.
Shame.
And then just chose to not acknowledge it for the next couple of weeks. I am a monster.
And I think then we all probably had some personal stuff that we wanted to do on our way home. I can't remember if we spent the money to get there yet.
Yeah, you had arrived back in Amnodel.
Okay, cool. There's potentially like covens to look into and some loose ends to maybe tie up, but who knows when we're going to take that bait. And Syl's got a bag of holding to make.
Yep. So the party had returned to Amnodel after a rather long venture to the Froshier Mountains with the pit stop in Galanath along the way. Returning home, the tavern, formerly the Adder's Venom, has a wooden sign nailed over top of the Adder's Venom that says, "Tavern, we are open." As Cran had said that they had hung a sign. And you had not given her any indication of, here's the name for our tavern. So Cran did what she could.
Tavern's just called Tavern. We are
Tavern,
open.
we are open.
We're open.
Yes, tavern, and then it's like it's literally like a slab of wood with this like painted on, so it is not well done.
The name of our tavern is We're Open. Don't ask about us when we're closed, because then it gets confusing. We're Open is now closed.
It's perfect.
And so as the party kind of gets back into town, things settle for a bit, and the party takes a month of much needed downtime during which they were able to pursue various goals, have that downtime. Over the course of the month, while you're going through the city, you do notice some large changes that have been made. The upper districts have been completely locked off. Large golems, an amalgamation of both stone and metal, have been placed at every entrance, as well as guards. Passes are now explicitly required to enter the upper districts. The middle districts are also more heavily guarded. The average guard presence over double of what it was before. These guards are also bolstered with the same large golems as reinforcements. The lower districts have returned to a closer state of what they were when you had first arrived in Amanodel, though the guard force at all the entrances to the city and the lower districts have been increased, as well as a larger guard presence in the markets, as well as along the dock line.
Are there people out, not just guards, but like are people normally like just? Does the city state seem the same minus the guard presence?
Yeah, the city itself is still like functioning as it was, more or less. But there is just that significant increase in guard presence. You do note that guards are occasionally stopping people like a bit more often than you used to see, kind of thing. And even the group, your group itself, gets stopped a couple of times by the guards over the course of the month, where it's basically just inquiring as to what it is you're doing at that time. And you feel that there is a larger sense of general fear of something going on, but Cran has been running the tavern, and while it's not been super busy, it has started to have a decent flow of patrons, mostly dock workers, many of which who Cran worked with during the time that she was in Amanodel before Kay ported back from Galanath. Cran did mention the first couple of weeks were incredibly slow, but has gradually gotten better. Over the time you were gone, and roughly a month of and a bit of downtime that the party had, the tavern struggled to make ends meet for the first fair bit of it. But once once there's more people cycling through, and a couple of good weekends did help to kind of balance things out. In the end, the party did net about 20 gold after all of their expenses were paid. So paying Cran for the work, paying for shipping and all that kind of stuff for materials. The party is able to start, like, over the course of the month while they're back, kind of like bolster up the bar if you wanted. Put an actual sign out there as opposed to Tavern We Are Open.
Decide on a name.
Decide on a name. During the month as well, each of the people had sent me some of the things they wanted to do. Kay, you spent a lot of time trying to chat with various animals around the city as you ventured around town, picking up deliveries where you can. And while in the Underbelly, you also spot Zachris a few times, getting more opportunities to enjoy the view of the massive red-scale dragonborn. You find that you are finding that on most days there isn't a whole lot of, or much of the way like delivery jobs within the city or the surrounding area, but you do manage to snag some here and there. And over the month, you managed to make 23 gold off of just the deliveries themselves, as well as the delivery of an ornate lead box. The person gave you a 10 gold tip. So for a total of 33 gold. You were casting Speak with Animals repeatedly over the course of the month. You mentioned the average of about twice a day. I would like you to give me 70 surge checks. And now we get to see what kind of shenanigans we get here.
All right,
is
roll
gonna-
20.
This is gonna be great.
No.
Oh, this is I've been waiting for this. Okay, I'm just gonna adjust my screen before I do this so I can see all of these just happen because this is gonna be great.
Okay, let's.
Oh
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 70 isn't terrible.
Yeah, it's not bad. And you had 4 nat 20s in there as well, but we still have 5 magic surges over the course of the month of downtime.
Kate is now shorter than me.
Oh, well,
Maybe.
it really depends. I'm assuming you want me to roll D400s?
Yes, I need you to roll me. So roll me 5 instances of 1d4 and 1d100, and do that 5 times.
Roll. Alright, so we're just gonna 1, 3, 4, 4, and 3.
Okay, so 1, 3, 4.
I've been waiting for this. I'm so excited. I'll wait until you're caught up, and then we'll do the rest of the placements.
Yeah, so 1, 3, 4, 4, and 3.
Yeah.
Okay, and now roll me your d100s.
81, 97, 66, 26, and 44.
So all in all, that shouldn't be too bad. And this is session 50.
I'm excited to hear what nonsense I got up to, because I
Me
also
too.
expect. For the record, I expect that every time I've done this, I'm not near any of you. I'm around other people within the city.
Alrighty, so the first one. Actually, just give me a second to go through. So we have 1 and 81. So let's just copy that. 3 and 97. Four and 66. 4 and 26. Oh.
Hey, a potted plant.
No, not yet.
Well, only one sounds kind of bad.
66? Is it in the middle?
Okay.
66. All right. So what happens?
So the first time you wild surge.
Which, for the record, these happen like on this. 2 of them happen probably the end of the second week. 1 happens during the 3rd week, and 2 happen on the 4th week of the month. The first week, I'm laughing.
Yeah, the first week you're fine. You're like, oh, I don't know what the problem. Like, this is fine. I haven't had anything happen. So the first time that it surges, you went invisible for 4 hours.
no.
I imagine this is like as you were like on your way to make a delivery, you hit this surge, and so you'd went to talk to like the neighborhood cat, and you go and you cast it to go and say hi, and then you just vanish, and the cat's like looking at where you were, and then turns and takes the fuck off. Yeah, so you spent 4 hours invisible.
Well, that could have been worse.
The second time, it could have definitely been worse. The second time, when you cast it, the spell went wild. You had a moment of enlightenment. And you now permanently gain proficiency in one skill of your choice.
Nice.
So
Okay,
go through your skills,
hold on.
pick one, and you get to permanently gain proficiency.
I get to gain proficiency. Oh shit, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Baby.
What do I gain proficiency in? Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
I'm looking at the history of our surges, and like a lot of our surges have been like 50 and under, but we've had a few that are like at the very high end. Like we had Anna's backpack becoming a bag of holding, which took over a month to figure out. Actually, it took several months to figure out.
I was busy.
Sylvania's money doubling, and now Cade gained the permanent proficiency in a skill of his choice.
I'm just going to assume that I'm just going to do it on stealth. Stealth sounds like a good plan, because I'm not proficient in stealth yet. And we've had a lot of opportunities where being proficient in stealth sounds like a good plan.
Fair.
Just based on the skills I have, so.
Kay's enlightenment. If you don't step on sticks, people don't notice you.
Don't kick loose stones. Now this one, Kay, you don't realize this initially.
Oh, good. This is fun
But
and
other
exciting.
people start looking at you very, very oddly. And like, as you're like walking around, people are kind of like covering their mouth and just like kind of pointing. You're a little bit confused. And one of those days when you get home, Theo, you see Kay kind of floating along into the house. All of his limbs kind of like flailing behind him like squid-like tentacles. Basically, picture Sir Noodles the Majestic Pony when the legs were broken, and that is essentially Kay.
What did you do?
What?
Does Sylvania notice this?
Oh, most definitely.
What the hell did you do to my arm?
What did you do to your other limbs?
Oh, I can replace those. What did you do to what I made?
So inquiry with DM. 1, do I feel pain?
No,
Or are they just-
only other people see this. When you're walking along, you look down, you see your legs just fine. You see your arms just fine. It's everyone else. You basically have this illusion permanently on you that's causing these.
Okay, the next question I have is:
server problem.
is this a permanent thing that everyone just needs to deal with me, or does it go away?
This is permanent currently.
Yeah.
So my response to everyone is, what? I'm fine. Literally, he pulls out his bow and shoots an object on the mantle.
So when you stop and you like pull out your bow and draw, like everyone sees like your arms just kind of like snap into the right place and you draw. But then it's whenever you're walking, all your limbs just kind of flail behind you.
I'm so... How did this...
How did what happen? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Explain this.
Hey, can you walk in front of a mirror?
Yeah, try
Okay,
that.
if I try walking in front of a mirror, do I look
You
normal
look in the mirror
to
and
me?
you see yourself fine.
Kay just looks at the rest of you. It's like, I don't get it. I think did y'all filter the water here in the tavern? Were you drinking something funny? You be
No.
nuts.
How do I put this? You know, I like beckon for like Anna and Syl. I'm like, okay, huddle time. You stay over there. I bring it. Do we tell him that he looks like a man squid, or do we just roll with it for now?
believe us if we told him you looked like a man squid?
Kind of.
You would just be like, what are you talking about? I'm fine.
Maybe
Oh,
it's
look,
just.
my arm is okay.
I think it seems to not impede him, so maybe we just.
Yeah, it's weird. I think he drank something in the water.
I'll go to the library tomorrow and see if I can research
My
it.
favorite part about this is that everybody thinks I'm insane, and I think everybody else is insane.
Yep, it is explicitly to everyone else. This is how you appear.
I'll visit the
Cool.
college, see what's up.
Yep, I think that means that we're going for a research trip.
Well, this is the middle of the month. Jeez.
It's true.
All right, how does the month end? I need to know.
Oh, we still have 2 more?
Exactly.
So, Kay.
Just imagine that, like, we're like drinking tea or some shit, and then in walks fucking.
During your 4th surge, you're in the market when you cast and you're trying to communicate with one of the animals there, and you feel the spell go wild, and you look around as everyone within 100 feet is now you.
Does he see his noodle arms?
No. everyone everyone within 100 feet of you now looks like you.
No.
Now, is it
and-
someone who was within 100 feet when it happened, or is it like this moving aura around?
When it
Kay?
happened.
Okay.
And like when this happens, like people start to like freak out because suddenly there's hundreds of Ks. And the guards kind of like, what the hell's going on? And start like arresting the plethora of Ks. K, with your new proficiency, roll me a. Actually, would you realize that like I should try and get out of here when you see them start trying to arrest people, or
Yes, I don't want to be arrested by the scary lady again.
Roll me a stealth check
Give me a sec.
with your new proficiency.
Yeah.
I ain't going back to prison.
I have yet to set that up in here, so give me a moment to set up my proficiency. Yay. Okay. Stealth.
You get arrested.
Son of a bitch. That's fine.
Oh,
fuck. And so these hundreds of Ks are being escorted by numerous guards to down by the guard outpost, and they're basically all like sat down on the docks because there is not room in there to cram hundreds of additional people.
Were any of the guards turned into Ks?
Some of the guards were indeed turned into Ks.
Were they themselves arrested?
They must have been.
Currently all the Ks that they could get their hands on were arrested. Actually,
did their clothes change? Do they have?
all of them look exactly like K.
Okay, so
they all have they all
have the matching robotic arm.
How are we gonna pick them out of the line test?
So
fuck me.
You're all escorted down, and like they're like we're trying to figure out what's going on. Inra, the big scary lady, comes out and sees this horde of Ks. And you just watch her just like
immediately call us. We get the disappointed parent call going, "Hi, sir. Are you the father of?"
Based on Aaron's description, though, we're all lined up on the docks. I expect Indra to just walk into the bar and go, "Can one of you come outside for a moment, please?"
That's precisely what happens. Indra walks down to. Indra's like, "Keep them here." From when he walks down to go, and you just hear the banging of the door, and like you kind of come and just like, "So we seem to have a issue. with Kay. K's. Come and take a look.
I guess we all go take a look.
And so as you're walking down the docks, you all get to this horde of Ks. There are over 100 Ks on the dock.
I did not make that many arms.
And Inner's trying to Inner's how? What?
Oh.
And this is all taken over the course of about 45 minutes of everyone being grabbed, dragged down, sat in the docks.
Oh, can I pull out my stone and say, K, raise your hand to the stone, but not loud enough for all the other Ks to hear?
Yep.
Respond to K anyways.
K, you hear the message stone, raise your arm. K waves.
Found him.
And you
That's
wave.
real K.
And then Inra walks over and grabs you and drags you out of the line. It's like, what did you do?
I wanted to say hi to Theo, the dog in the market.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Did you
What's
call Theo
that
a
dog's
bitch?
name?
Theo!
You?
That's his name, not mine! Don't look at me! Your name is Theioryn. Don't you go blaming some poor, innocent bystander in the market that they named their dog Theo.
We're gonna
And
have
just-
a long chat when we get back. 'Cause
Wait.
I don't believe you.
And like the group is kind of like bickering, like because Kay's trying to like it's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. And like after like you see Inra
Arms are, like,
turn, like
fluttering
look
everywhere.
at all of
Yeah, also, wouldn't someone notice it was me because my arms are trailing behind me every step I take?
you weren't
That's
walking.
true.
Everyone was sat down on the
True.
docks.
True, only when I'm walking do I look like a...
Like, do you look the man squid? Yes.
Yeah.
But like, Inra's like really frustrated and like, look at what you did. Like turns like in like motions like the lineup of Ks. Like, look, this is not nothing. Like, look at all these Ks and looks back at all the Ks and they're all back to the normal self. So there's now a lineup of 100 random people on the docks.
All
And K.
arrested.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to making my bag of holding. Thanks for pulling this out. Bye.
I walk
Everyone
back
within
with
100
Phil.
feet of you was affected by the Ultra Self spell to look like the caster for 1 hour.
Is she Officer Indra?
She's Commander Inra.
Otto's captain.
Commander, I'm so sorry. He's not a bad boy. He just weird things happen to him. What can I? What? Is there a bail or something we can pay to bring him home?
I didn't do anything! Everyone's fine!
And it was just like, just try to keep him under wraps. Please.
Oh,
I didn't have to deal with him for long, but I can't deal with that many Ks.
I
Please.
I completely understand. I don't know what
Can,
happened.
is
but
this
we'll-
one, as she says this, can Kay walk away and start to do the fluttery arm thing as he walks towards the bar?
Inra, like, as you're walking away from Inra, just, like, looks, sees, I'm not even gonna ask, and turns and heads back
We're still
inside.
figuring that one out.
Because at this point, Kay knows that everyone looks at him weird when he's walking. He doesn't care. It's funny now. All right.
Wondering
And-
if I can. Do I know that magic surging is a thing?
Oh, 100%.
Of course,
You've
we all
seen
do.
it before.
Huh? Yeah.
You've
Okay.
heard
So
before.
Can I make the connection that Kay's probably just been having some real bad luck with magic surging lately?
Let's be clear, it's not even bad luck. I'm just using it a shit ton.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like
So-
you kind of figure that what caused this is probably a wild magic surge,
Yeah, okay.
but it's still just
I don't
the
have to tell Inra that, though.
yeah. It's just the
As
like,
long as-
what the fuck?
As long as our group knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so much fun. One more.
That
one more.
evening, I have a conversation with Kay just to say, Kay, I understand that you have a new trick and it's lots of fun and you get to make a lot more new friends. But remember that sometimes casting too much magic causes weird things to happen. Like a bunch of people turning into you for an hour.
Yeah, but that was funny.
I mean,
I
it
don't
was.
think Commander Inra thought it was very funny. For
Yeah,
an hour.
but
She probably
I-
had a mild heart attack.
I
don't
thought
know
it was
how else I
funny.
did.
No one got hurt. It was grand old time.
Just
It's
be-
great.
Please be careful.
Also, I do want to
So-
clarify that of all the 100 people who got turned into K, like they look and sound exactly like K, like. So it's just that, like when they're all talking on the docks, you just hear this cacophony of Ks talking to Ks.
Oh my god.
I will be right back. Dog is screaming.
Okay.
No.
I want to mention that as Anna's walking back with Syl, I'm gonna like commend Syl on doing the stone trick because Anna would have just asked for a hand axe and gone, "Would you stick this down your underwear? Stick this down your underwear? Would you stick this down your underwear?"
I was thinking of, do I yell something out insulting to Kay and see which one reacts?
But also, I just realized that this happens near the end. But you know what? The next day, I do it again.
You have another surge.
I
Kay,
want to know what the
languages
last
do you
one is.
speak?
Abyssal, Common, Draconic, Elvish, Sylvan, and Undercommon.
Pick a language that's not common.
Nice.
I'm gonna probably go with Draconic.
You can no longer speak Draconic. You can pick a different language to learn.
Cool.
Oh.
So you've lost the ability to speak one language, but gained the ability to speak and read a different language.
All right. Well, I'll figure that out.
Yeah. So those are K's 5 surges, and yeah, there's
This
a
was
little
fun.
bit of
I
a
like this.
little bit of a clusterfuck as some of them occurred. The confusion of the Squid Man floaty K, because like his torso stays in the right height and spot and position. It's just the limbs that flail behind.
And so to be clear, with this one spell specifically, because Kay does not know or understand what's happening, besides the fact that everyone looks at him really fucking funny when he walks, he believes that nothing is fundamentally wrong.
Yeah, because
and
you
he
see
thinks-
yourself fine.
He thinks it's a problem with all y'all. So if this is something that you want to make go away, you can take him. You can take him to the place, but he does not believe there's a fundamental problem. So
At some point, I'm just going to say to Theo, be like, Theo, you need to take him in.
I do.
Pull him
I
by
know.
his ear if you need to.
I
It gets
know.
distracting.
This
Beyond-
will bite us
beyond
in the
the
ass
sur-
eventually.
Beyond the surges, though, over the course of the month, you do manage to befriend quite a few animals that wander about the city and the surrounding areas, and have learned that yes, food is indeed a very excellent motivator for many of them. There's a cat, Scrappy, who lives in the alley not far from your place and collects bottle caps. A bull, Ferris Mueller, is in one of the surrounding farms. He likes eating yellow flowers. He can't see that they're yellow, but you've learned that from the different flowers you've brought him for him to eat, like he likes the yellow ones. There are various animals that are trained and work with the guards. They tend to be very hard to bribe, though they sometimes do have additional information depending on what they're investigating. You also learn that the guards do also have druids that work with them that can also talk to the animals, so information you ask for may be given to others as well as the fact that you would ask for information.
Yep.
So things to keep in mind. Also, there is now a dog in the market named Theo. You also were wanting to look into getting a magic bow. and find that buying one from the shops are currently a bit out of your current price range. However, from chatting with Sylvania, they have an idea for a prototype magical bow, assuming that it functions as Sylvania imagines. It would allow you to conjure a bow and arrows. It wouldn't provide any additional damage at this moment, but it would be resistant to being shrunk by unfortunate surges, and could be upgraded further later on. It would cost about 200 gold in materials and labor to create. Is that something you're wanting to spend the gold on?
Give me a sec to catch up with my shenanigans, and I'll follow up with you on making a bow.
Sounds good. Sylvania, you had a lot of things that you wanted to do over the course of the time.
Yes, downtime is useful for artificers.
Yeah. The smithy was built during your time away. Your first test of the smithy was crafting a standard morning star, which was simple enough and only cost you the 5 gold for materials. It doesn't take you long to start working on some of your personal projects, especially now that you have acquired the Winter Blinkwolf pelt. You're able to find the remaining components easily enough and craft and those cost a total of 200 gold for the additional components you needed. And over the course of a couple of weeks, managed to craft yourself the bag of holding, dismantle and rearrange dogs inside so that you can get the bag of holding inside dog. And dog's mouth is now a bag of holding.
Huzzah!
Once you confirm the smithy was in working order, use the message stone to contact Backdraft over in Galenath. And he does make a trip down to Amadodel. He does mention that while it is a working smithy and there's nothing inherently wrong with it, they feel their current setup in Galenath is a bit better stocked, and it's designed better to suit his needs, with it being an encased area that he can utilize his Dragon Breath to heat up. Whereas the blacksmith you currently have is more open air. He said that if you were to upgrade it, he'd definitely consider coming down, but in its current state, he's better off in Galenath. He does give you back the message stone, though.
Yeah.
So the party now has their 6 message
I
stone
wanted
back.
back from him.
Pardon?
So that's the only thing I really wanted specifically from him. If he doesn't want to stay, I am also a crafter and understand that this space is not his space.
Yeah.
It was worth offering it to him because I find
for
him
sure.
fascinating. But
you looked into removing the fear of darkness, and you check in with the archaeologist that Cade went to regain his 7 inches of height to attempt to purge your fear of darkness. It would cost... Where was it? Oh god, I had this written down somewhere. Where was that? It would cost 60 gold to rid yourself of the fear of darkness.
60? 60?
60, yeah.
Okay, I spend the gold. I don't want to be afraid of dark.
Okay. She takes you into the back room, and you are strapped hands and feet to a table, the same table that Kay was. Is anyone else joining Sylvania for purging their fear of the dark?
Are we all afraid of the dark?
No, just Sylvania.
If Syl wanted moral support, yeah.
Theo would probably go to ask if this is happening after Kay becomes Squidman. Theo would go to inquire of, can we fix Squidman K? I said Theo. I meant Squidman K.
Kay, would you be going with Sylvania to expunge their fear of darkness?
No, because Kay is still afraid of that time where Syl tried to murder him over it, and while Syl and Kay are friends, we're not on the greatest of terms, considering, he gave her the fear of darkness, she tried to murder him by lighting him on fire. There's just a relationship dynamic there that he's just like, I don't really
for this one.
I don't need to
Kay
see
could
you
be
be tortured
forgiven
and in pain.
if he pays for the removal.
OK is not at all going to get involved in that shit. Have you seen him with the 5 that he did? Like, he might give you a contribution for it, but that's probably it. We're a business transaction pairing, the two of us. We only do things that we benefit from for each other. That's kind of how we work.
So much love.
So yeah, Sylvania is taken into the back room, and you're strapped hands and feet to the table, same table that Kay was. She gags you, mentioned, this is more for my own hearing than anything. And she pulls out a book and is flipping through and finds the passage she's looking for. And as she reads it, you hear this deep thrumming noise in your head. Theo and Annah, you also hear like this, like the deep thrumming sound in the back of your head. And it just pulsating in the back of your skull. It grows louder and louder, and your vision goes a bit blurry. Theo and Annah, roll me Constitution saves. Actually, Sylvania, roll me one as well.
That's no good. $18.
So
Plus
Annah,
6,
you're able to
freaking
kind of like
9.
shake your head, and like you're used to kind of like communicating telepathically with others, and so you kind of like able to like kind of like shake your head and like kind of fixate and focus. Theo,
Actually,
you
is
need
this
to sit
magical
down.
in origin?
Yeah,
And so you kind of grab a chair and sit down.
I'm having flashbacks.
Sylvania, the thrumming grows louder, and your vision starts to go blurry. You try and focus, but you can see darkness creeping in at the edges of all your vision, and it's like creeping in and gradually overtaking everything. You squirm, writhe, and attempt to scream, but the gag muffles the vocals, and you kind of figure that's why. But you're panicking. You try and break free, but you're held firmly in place. And after a bit, your vision has gone completely black, and you can't see a thing. The thrumming is nearly deafening, and suddenly you feel a hand on your forehead, and in an instant, the thrumming stops. You're completely relaxed, and you can see perfectly. And Billy's like, oh, there you go, my dear. Your fear should be broken. Any additional fear of the dark you have is no longer caused by the surge, and is all in your head. And just kind of pats your forehead a couple of times before undoing the straps.
I'm going to immediately like cup my hands over my eyes to be in the dark for a second. Am I like terrified?
You're fine.
Okay. Oh, brilliant. The thrumming was annoying, but effective.
Yeah, Theo, you're just like even after like it's gone, like you can just still like almost feel in the back of your head. It's just kind of like
I'm going to need some headache medication when we get back.
But yes, Sylvania, you're no longer afraid of the dark.
Huzzah!
You'd sent off a letter to your guild, paying them your dues and telling them the information you had obtained regarding your blueprints, and had asked them for any information regarding the various components you required for them. You also asked about apprentices to take the blacksmithing role as well. A couple weeks later, you receive a letter from them. A Sverfneblin Grilk, who had been apprenticing there, mentioned that while they're unsure of what exactly Elder Spires are, they know they reside in the Underdark. Descriptions of them vary greatly depending on who's telling the story, but they're monstrous beings that are often used to scare young Sverfneblin into behaving. Kind of like the boogeyman, just they actually exist. The description their mother had always told them was... Pardon?
So does the boogeyman.
This is verbatim like what they had said, and it was like, except they actually exist.
Yeah, and that's what Sylvania says reading that. It's like, so does the boogeyman.
The description that Grok's mother had told them was a massive spider-like being made from the bones of those that it devoured. They had no records of Vakadris or Izix.
Okay.
And they currently don't have any blacksmith apprentices they're able to send. So it'd be up to you to find someone to hire on.
Okay.
You'd also ask in regards to Mithril Armor. You looked at what you require to craft Mithril Armor, and while possible, obtaining the required amount of Mithril, especially for a plate or half plate, would be troublesome. You had sent out several messages to numerous suppliers who you'd procured resources from in the past, and many of them had mentioned that it has become excessively difficult as of late to actually obtain Mithril.
Okay.
And they're not sure why.
Huh, that might be something to look into.
Theo, you had spent a fair bit of time relaxing, as well as a large amount of time investigating Ithariel's library. During your investigation, you wind up at one of Amenodell's libraries, poring over the books. And I'd like you to give me an investigation check.
Investigation. 24.
24.
Casually opens a door in the library, ends up finding Ithariel's library by mistake.
No, it's not Howl's Castle. It's not random doorway leads to library. So you find various books describing structures that like move from place to place, like a castle, abruptly vanishing from one location and appearing in another. Most of the books mentioning it deem it as a myth. However, there are a couple books that mention that it tends to avoid densely populated areas. The myths mostly mention the castle being an ominous place, and there are a wide variety of stories of awful things that happen if you go in. Kind of the akin to stories you'd find with like the Brothers Grimm and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you do also find a book that talks about buildings and objects that can shift from one location to another, and in it there are 3 specific buildings that are called out. The Eternal Labyrinth, the Obelisk of Vatharim, and the Grand Library. The Eternal Labyrinth is an ever-shifting and changing labyrinth that exists between planes. The entrance to it seems to change location every approximately 50 years. Towns will usually pop up around wherever it appears as its location that many adventurers will attempt to reach. The building is a large marble structure, about 100 feet wide and 50 feet deep. The entrance is a pair of large wooden doors with golden trim. Upon entry, a person is shunted from the material plane into the labyrinth and can explore. It is a hostile and dangerous place, but is also wrought with treasure. The current location of the Eternal Labyrinth is in Gavru, located somewhere in the Ikanabe grasslands west of the Blackwood Marsh.
Okay.
The Obelisk of Vatharim is a cursed artifact that changes location every 200 or so years. The artifact is believed to have been created by Emperor Vatharim approximately 3,700 years ago, so before the large shift in magic. As the magic is imbued with is unlike anything that is currently in the world today. It tears portals open in the surrounding area that lead to various planes of existence. The portals tend to appear as one-way travel only, and it's rare for portals open to allow travel into the material plane from where they're opening to, though it's not unheard of. The last known location was in the northern reaches of the Grell Woods in Gothorum. However, it vanished roughly 50 years ago, and its new location has not yet been found. And the Grand Library is a tall castle-like structure with numerous towers protruding from it. Within is one known as the Grand Librarian, Collector of Knowledge. Should you bring a gift, something to be added to the library that it does not already possess, you will be allowed to peruse some of the knowledge that is stored there. Come empty-handed, and you will likely be turned away empty-handed. The Grand Library exists within a pocket dimension, so the castle exterior does not at all limit or accurately represent the amount of information stored there. The Grand Library does not remain in location for a specific period of time, perhaps moving at the whim of the Grand Librarian. And there is a map present with locations that the library has claimed to be seen. And I'd like you to give me a history check.
Ooh, boy. Oh. 8.
8.
I'm so sad. I'm good at history.
Looking at the map, there's something familiar about it, but you can't quite place it.
Okay.
Yeah, that is what we're able to determine about the Grand Library.
All right.
inquiring to whether or not they can fix Kay's man squid mode.
Yeah.
Yes, it can be done.
Excellent.
It would require Kay to come and have that fixed.
What would be the cost?
I'm pulling that up now. That one was that. It would probably cost about 130 gold.
I don't have that much money.
And I'm not
man.
spending that much. Also, I'd probably give Syl the money to craft me a new bow.
Okay. Takes a little bit for Sylvania to finish the bow for you, just because they had spent the first bit fixating on their bag of holding.
Yep.
But once complete, Sylvania presents you with a golden band that gets embedded into the wrist of your mechanical arm. Placing your left thumb against the underside of your wrist, and then drawing as if you're pulling a bow, conjures an ethereal bow into your hand and an arrow.
Wait, I lied. I do have that much money. I just...
Don't want to spend it on Kay.
Well, no, it's not that. I would go back to the group and I'd say, okay, well, I researched it. It's gonna cost 130 gold to fix Kay's,
Squid mode.
squid
Oh.
arms. Flag limbs.
I like flag limbs.
All right.
Maybe in the future?
Maybe, you know, like,
Again?
I could do it. I could do it. I'll be poor for a little bit. And it's not really hurting anyone at the moment, other than it being incredibly distracting.
Exactly. I think it's not a priority. Just
Yeah.
something that when we amass more money, maybe we look into fixing.
I also kind of need to plan on how to get him there, because the last time he was there, it was a very poor experience. So that's going to take some thought. I have an idea, but he's grown suspicious lately. So
DM,
Yes.
my new bow. Standard stats all around, or
Yeah,
is there an item I can look up?
Yep. So the bow itself does not deal any additional damage or anything like that, but it is considered magical damage, or it counts as a magical weapon as far as like bypassing resistances and all that. The arrows that you like, because it does also conjure an arrow, these arrows will dissipate after about 10 seconds of hitting a target.
Okay.
Now, that being said, should you already be holding an arrow in your hand as you draw, it will not conjure a new arrow. So it does mean that if you have other ammo that you're wanting to utilize, you can.
Okay.
But the bow itself no longer requires you to have ammo.
Perfect. Because I was running low.
Annah,
Hi.
having finally had some time to sit and rest, you found yourself a bit restless. Before Yeshur had been destroyed, you would have tended to your bees, searched for bugs, spent time with Gregor, learned new recipes, usually which then got tried out on Gregor.
His chagrin.
But for the past year, it's been a constant flurry of activity. There's also been the looming concern of having to eventually confront the Scorched Hammer clan, which feels far beyond your current capability to deal with. You decide to take a trip to the ruins of Yeshur to reflect and think, to pay respects to those who are no longer there. And so you make the trip down. And as you're kind of walking around what's left of the city, memories do kind of flood back. Both the happy times you had as became a welcome part of the village, the horrors you faced upon finding the city ablaze. As you spent time in Yeshur, lost within your own thoughts, you came to accept and kind of rebolstered your resolve, like the Scorched Hammer clan needs to be dealt with. But getting ready to be able to do that would not be a cheap endeavor. Resources, allies, and information would all be heavily required. And so you resolve to at least restart your matery as a first step. Taking a look, you do find a couple of the hives. The boxes are significantly worse for wear. having been unattended for so long. But you pack them up and cart them back to Amonodel. You and some of the other people who you had worked with in the past, like that you had contacted with in the past down in like Ithmir, had kind of been talking about a design for a bee box that wouldn't require you to pull and remove the combs or anything like that. That would essentially just allow you to free feed the honey. Chatting with Sylvania, the two of you are able to kind of work out logistics of it and getting it constructed. And it would probably cost you about 20 gold to do so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna pay that right now.
Okay. So the two of you work out logistics and get them constructed, though you did have to rein Sylvania in several times during the construction, as she wanted to add things like an automatic flamethrower to prevent unwanted pests from getting near the hive, a bee tagging and tracking system, and things like that. So like, you had to rein them in several times. It's like, no, we just the boxes.
Basic model still.
What about pests? Oh, I'll convince you later about the pests.
Adds an automatic, builds a flamethrower, sets something in the kitchen on fire.
And after these new boxes have been built, you crack open the old hives, which were not, once again, not in the greatest condition. But you transport the queen to the new boxes, and gradually the bees migrate over to these new hives you've constructed. And you've got an actual tap that you can basically turn to. They'll cause it to free flow the honey.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so you're able to get those made. And were you intending on spending time with Gregor during the course of the month as well?
I was spending time as in just, maybe visit him and his brother for lunch just to see where we stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you do this before or after you went to Yesher?
I would do this after. I think going after kind of just steals my resolve of like, this quest cannot be abandoned no matter how long it takes me to try and track these guys down. And
yeah,
I think that is what would renew me reaching out to Gregor.
Yeah, so you do reach out to Gregor. His brother is thrilled to see you and says you're always welcome.
Yeah.
Chatting with Gregor, he's disheartened at the resolve. He wants to just move on with life, and you feel that there is that point of like where the two of you are growing separate ways because he wants to forget it and move on, and you're like, this can't be forgotten.
Okay. Yeah, I think Annah would, even though she can't forget it, she would appreciate where he's coming from, and that he's over the last year and a bit, built a new life here in Amonodel and is with his family again, and it's working for him.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't begrudge him that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're not on bad terms, but you feel that there is that like distinct difference in goals and desires between the two of you.
Yeah. So whereas we used to hold hands, when Annah goes to leave, she wants to give him a handshake, kind of signifying the end of their hand holding.
Okay.
I think he would get it.
It's symbolic.
Yes, he does get it.
Holding hands is the farthest they've ever gone.
As you you shake his hand, and he goes to continue holding it for that moment, and you pull your hand away after the handshake, and that's when it just kind of hits him of, oh, okay. Yeah, so you.
Sad.
But
I'm sorry, Gregor. You'll always be my best friend. After Beanard. Actually, you're my best friend right now. I can't find him.
I said, what do you mean you can't find Beanard?
I know, he's just gone off again on his own.
Friends.
If you see him, send him home.
Will do.
Thank you, you're the best.
I give him and his brother a big hug and then leave, trying not to think about the sad feelings.
Okay. Towards the end of the month, or over the course of the month, Kran also reminds the group that the Silver Dragon Lady wanted to talk to you.
She was at the
From the
university.
college?
Yeah.
Or university, right, okay.
Yeah, the Amadeus College of the Arcane.
Looking into my orb.
Yep. Theo, roll me another history check.
History check. Natural 20.
Nat 20.
Well done!
With a 5, making it a 25.
22 on the other side, too.
So, Theo, one night as you're meditating and just kind of like drifting into that deep trance-like state, you suddenly jolt upright. There's a memory just on the very edge of your thoughts, just that little bit out of reach and yet so close. And it's like you just need something, anything to trigger that memory. And you're, what are you looking for to try and jostle a memory?
What am I looking for?
You're remembering something that you recognize from a long time ago, and you're trying to remember, like, what would you try and look to try and jostle those memories?
I think I would probably go through my memories of school and my time with my teacher. And actually, as far as the number one thing that my teacher would have taught me is smell is the strongest sense linked to memory. So I might even like just go around as like, this is gonna sound really weird, but like go around like picking up a book and like smelling it and going, that's not right. And then going into the pantry and then opening up the spice rack and like opening the different spices and go, that's not right.
Love it.
Just going around.
So you're
That's probably hard.
So
I
Anna,
chose smell.
as the middle of the night, you hear clattering out in the main area, and kind of like peek your head out of your room, and you
Beanard?
see Theo like rushing around in the house, picking up random things, smelling them, putting them back down, and like running off to something else, picking up, smelling it, putting it back down. And then you see Theo turn and rush out the back door. And Theo, as you step outside, you like take a deep breath of like the night air.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like looking up and like scratching your head, like, what the hell is it? What is on the edge of my mind? And that's when you notice in the sky a void. It is known as the Black Star. It is a star that creates a void with a voided zone within the night sky. Unlike the rest of the stars, it does not follow its normal, the regular pattern of the rest of the stars. It seems to follow its own. And seeing that, you remember a map.
Mm-hmm.
And grabbing, trying to dig through some of your old books, rushing to the library, taking a look at some of the stuff they have there, you find a map of the cycle of the Black Star. And you grab that book that you had seen the castle locations and the dates they had been seen. And it seems to line up that the dates and locations that the castle had claimed to have been seen would have approximately fell into the Black Star existing above that point at that time.
Huh.
I just give out the biggest eureka sound, probably waking up everyone now.
And so with that, you're able to kind of determine, okay, well, if the castle obviously isn't exactly following the Black Star at all times.
Yeah.
Because the castle would remain in a location for a period of time and then suddenly move.
Yeah.
So you start trying to figure out, okay, well, if the castle were to teleport now, where would it end up? And you do determine that if it were to teleport any time within the next month,
Mhm.
it would end up on Amanora Island.
Oh,
Which-
that's a ways away.
Yeah, which is here.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so if the castle were to teleport, that is where it would end up, permitting that your theory is correct. But judging by what you've been discovering, you're nat fucking 20, you're pretty sure that's what it
The need
teleports to.
smell to jostle my memory.
And even thinking on it, like, you kind of think that makes sense, because if
Mhm.
the other location of the library
Yeah.
is within the Shadowlands,
Yeah.
it being tied to the void in the sky makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'd like everyone in the party to roll me a perception check.
Oh. 8.
Oh. I got. Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
7,
Oh,
8,
we're not
9,
doing
and
good.
14.
I have a
We're
plus.
not doing
I
good.
have a +7 to perception.
0.
I'm only a 4.
Wow.
We're all
Cran
busy
rolled a
doing
nat
our own
20.
shit.
Yeah.
That's convenient.
Go Cran.
That is convenient. Anna Cran comes up to you one day,
Yes.
and she's like, "Do you hear giggling?"
Like right this moment?
Not right now, but I keep hearing, even when you were gone, I keep hearing giggling.
Oh my god, the drug house is haunted! Okay. I'll get some candles and we'll do a seance. We'll figure out what the joke is and then maybe they can move on.
Joke is.
Is Cran saying that to everyone or just to Anna?
She says to Anna, but like it's very like she's not trying to like keep it hush hush. Like she just like, do you hear giggling?
Yeah.
So anyone could easily hear it.
So
Can I
cool.
check
So
the secret compartment downstairs. I
yeah,
don't know if you
Kay
have
was
the door
immediately
there.
gonna do that. Yeah, it was like, I don't hear anything, but now I need to go on an investigation of our entire property to see if I can hear giggling. And the first place I want to start is the place that I don't think we go to a lot.
Correct.
The secret place downstairs.
Yep. So you pull on the book that's sitting on the shelf, and currently it's one of the only books sitting on that shelf. And you head down to the basement. Is everyone going down there?
Oh yeah, I'm ready for a seance.
I don't think it's a seance.
Anna's
I don't know.
prepared for a seance. Syl and I are leading the charge, and Theo's just like, what's
I'm
the
just
worst
gonna
that could
stand
happen?
in the back here.
Make sure the kids are okay.
Make sure they don't go running with scissors or anything like that.
I mean, Syl's already tried to burn the place down, putting a bloody flamethrower into a bee box. So, and Kay's a
Not
massive
burn the house
wave.
down. Those not
I am perfectly fine. Excuse you. Your
It's been a bloody
perception that
month.
there's something wrong with me, and you'd be wrong. My floaty arms made me stealthy, because my feet never touch the ground while I'm walking. That's actually how I'm proficient.
Good point.
A week later, my feet never touched the ground, and that's when Kay clued into the fact that he's better
As
at
long as you're
stealth.
not trying to blend into the crowd stuff, you will suck at blending into the crowd stuff.
When has that ever happened?
So the party goes into the basement, and everyone roll me another perception check.
Oh.
Hey!
16.
I got 9 again.
18, 16, 9, and 7.
I'm gonna refresh roll 20. I don't trust it anymore after my 70 d20
70
rolls.
d20s. So the Theo and Annah, you can hear a little bit of giggling. And like it's not constant. Like every just once in a while you
Right in my ears.
and it seems to be coming. Actually, where's where is that? Open up that. Do I still have it in here? I should.
I actually have a question, real
I have
quick.
an answer.
Since it's downtime and we're no longer in the north, would I have had time to turn Stella back from an owl back to a snake?
100%.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, Stella would have complained every day from the moment you got back until you turned her back into an owl or into a snake.
Snake, yeah. So she's a snake now. She's got a passive perception of 10. Actually, don't know what I was gonna do. Never mind. Actually, no, I'm just gonna send her out into the area and have her like slither around all like the nooks and crannies and see if she can like pick something up.
Yeah, so like this is the basement that you guys have right now. Though I suppose everyone would be over here somewhere. But like when you hear the giggling, like sometimes you hear it like like sometimes you hear the giggling coming from like here. Other times it's coming from here. At one point it seems to be coming from like a little bit above you, and you're like, what in the hell?
Does it sound muffled, like it could be behind a wall, or does it sound clear, like it's in this room with us?
It sounds muffled.
Sounds muffled. Okay.
You might need to call pest control.
I guess we did need those flamethrowers still.
I mean, if it's a mouse, Stella should be able to find it. Or any other kind of pest.
True.
I haven't heard it yet, so I can't shoot fire at it.
In the druid language.
With their unused flamethrower, ready to let go.
Oh my god, no.
I did gain firebolt at that level up, so
I'm
ready.
That's great.
I'm ready.
In druid, Anna's just gonna ask like, "What's the joke?" out loud, like to the giggling, and see if there's a response.
There is no response.
All right.
Suppose
Hey.
I will...
Oh, go on.
Go ahead. No, you go, Kay.
I was like, "Hey, dude, the Fae find things funny all the time."
Kay's gonna be like, well, it depends on the Fae folk. They like to prank people a shit ton, though.
Okay. Maybe we're being pranked right now. Theo, any thoughts?
So this is that weird moment where Kay's gonna be like, you know what? It's been a while. Is there a portal in our basement? Would be really funny if there was, for the record. But portal check for a mile.
There are not any portals in your basement.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Has Stella found anything? Should I roll for like an investigation for Stella?
Yeah, roll me an investigation for Stella.
Investigation is an intelligence. Her intelligence is not that great, unfortunately. So... She rolled a 1. She
She
found
rolled a
nothing.
negative 1.
She rolled a negative 1. She rolled a 0.
That takes some skill to roll a negative 1.
It's just I just realized, it's like, what is an investigation? Oh, it's a -5. Well, go for it. What's the worst that can happen? I get a -1. She finds nothing.
Because I want to light this thing on fire now.
So Stella's searching around for it. Is anyone else like people can roll me like perception checks or investigation checks, try and locate what could be making the noise?
Okay, yeah. Anna would be actively trying to figure it out too.
Yeah, you know what? At this point, Kay's like, Kay will get in on this because Kay's super frustrated with the fact that, you know what, he's just been distracted, and then he's like, look, a thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Kay is adamant he's gonna get it this time. I'm gonna laugh if I like fail this roll. It's a 17. That's not terrible.
Sylvania, you realize that your flamethrower isn't quite working like it's supposed to, so you get distracted and start fixing it.
It's also a flame glove, not a flamethrower. But you know.
Well, I mean, it is a flamethrower. It makes flame, and then you throw it.
Exactly. Well, yeah. That's flame space thrower instead of flamethrower.
Yeah. Okay, you hear it, and you hear it like notably on the other side of the wall here.
Cool.
Does
Kay...
Kay point at that point in the wall?
No, Kay does not. Kay goes over and starts knocking on the wall. Just literally just taking his hand going...
Shave and a haircut.
Just all across the wall.
So you walk up to the wall and knock, and you hear, huh? And then, as it knocks back on the wall.
Nice.
Cool. Kay's going to respond. Actually, I don't know if Kay doesn't know Morse code. Kay's just gonna go and see what happens. Just knock on the door in a pattern.
Yeah, it tries to mimic the pattern. It's like,
I don't think ghosts can knock back.
Kay's gonna be like, and then Kay and the person on the other side of the wall are just going to play this mimicky knocking noise for a little bit.
yes, you two are knocking back and forth at each other.
So we've clearly established that, at this point, hold on. I assume I'm like here.
Yeah.
And I'm just knocking on the wall incessantly.
And it's knocking right back on the other side.
Is it knocking audibly enough that the rest of the people in the room can hear now?
Oh yeah, like you knock on the wall and like the party can kind of hear that, and then like you stop knocking and then they hear like the knocking on like from the wall as well, and just so people are very aware there's something on the other side of that wall.
I want to look for a secret door.
Yeah. I was just going to say, is there like, if we run along, is there like any air sealed up tight?
Roll me an investigation check.
More investigations. This time it's going to be me.
With a nat 20?
Actually,
That'll do it.
Down nat 20.
Well, I
20.
mean, I knew what I was about to do, but okay.
What were you about to do?
I was about to turn into a cloud and see if I could find a crack in the wall to ethereally float through it.
So Theo is like, while you're playing your knocking game, Theo's like going along the wall and like checking every nook and cranny. And Theo, you find a hole about as big as your pinky. You can kind of shove your finger into the hole.
Hey!
Kay's gonna do the thing! Kay's gonna do the thing!
Do you think you can do your little trick and go through here?
Kay doesn't respond, just disappears.
Just suddenly cloud.
Hold on.
Roll me the third, see if we explode again.
Oh, I need to input that correctly. We
Nope.
don't.
Okay. So Kay, you enter into your cloud form, and I need to be on the right layer. And you phase through the wall, and it is pitch black on this side.
Cool.
And
Well,
you like as you phase through, like it's pitch black, and then you see a large yellow eye turn to look at you.
can I roll performance to see how Kay responds to a giant glowing eye facing him?
Sure. Now keep in mind, as far as giant goes, about that.
Well, yes, but either way, there's a glowing eye in front of him, and I mean, I'm a cloud, but I actually don't know if Kay is going to be scared or not. So I figure performance is the best way. Low scale, he's gonna freak out mildly. High scale, stone faced.
Meanwhile, Kay's over there. I'm gonna turn to Syl and I'm gonna go, do you think you have a way to maybe open up this wall?
If
So
clouds could scream,
if clouds could scream, Kay's just gonna be like. Like, in his cloud form, he's, like, backing up against the wall, not going back through it, but, like, you know when you back away slowly? He's backed away as much as his gaseous form can, up in front of his, like...
Yep. And just a second.
Define
So-
way through, Theo. Like, do you want
I mean-
me to find the door, or do you want me to destroy the wall?
I mean destroy the wall.
I could probably do that.
So
Do you
okay,
have-
as you're backing up
have
against
it
the backing your cloud body against the wall, you just hear "Hi!"
Okay, Kay is going to decloud real quick, because the thing is responding to him, and he can see me, therefore, otherwise I'm going to die. So I just decloud on the other side of the wall in complete darkness with this glowing eyeball.
Yep.
Kay's gonna respond, "Hello?"
Hi! And it kind of like it kind of like bounces a little bit, moves towards you. Now keep in mind this thing is about at like head level.
Why are you in our basement?
I live here.
Processing. Oh! Hi! I'm Kay! Kay outstretches his arm, like to give a handshake.
Yep.
Has no fucking idea where this thing is besides general guesstimate, because, yet again, glowing eyeball. But
Yeah.
Kay goes to shake his hand like he can see something.
Yeah. Currently the eyeball is about here.
Yeah, so Kay just stretches out his hand.
Yeah, you hold out
Hi,
your hand.
I'm Kay.
And you see it kind of like look down and look back up to you. And shoot, I had his name here. I'm Zix. Zix.
Zix?
Z-I-X.
Hi!
Zix is in our basement.
Giggling all the time.
How long have you been living here, Zix?
I don't know. Century? Could be 10 years. I don't know. Been a while.
Somewhere between a century and 10 years. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I have a feeling Zix doesn't get out much.
Love it.
Yay!
What about you? How long have you been here?
Message.
Oh, like, I can't
no.
phase back. I am unfazed.
Jack, you want to do that one today?
I'm not a cloud anymore.
I'm
Kay's
not
gonna
that, just Kay, if you could talk to us and tell us that you're okay and not stuck in the wall. wall. That would be great.
Kay's gonna be like, hold on, Zix, one sec. Kay's
Okay.
gonna turn to the wall. It's gonna be like, yeah, I'm fine. I just met Zix. I can't see though. Can one of you run upstairs and grab one of my arrows, light it, and stick it through the wall for me real quick? You guys
Anna-
have determined there's a tiny hole, which I'm assuming is enough for an arrow shaft.
You could take like an arrow shaft and like cram it through the hole easily enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen an arrow. I've seen plenty of arrow shafts that are about like a pinky
They're about a pinky height.
size.
Yeah. So you'd have to remove the head of the arrow, but you could easily shove like a shaft through the thing.
That's fine. Syl has upgraded my arrows, so I don't really use physical ones as much.
Anna will book it to his room and snap it.
Yep. So you come back down with a arrow with the tip broken off and pass it to Theo.
And as this is happening, I'll respond to Zix with like, well, we moved in like a couple months ago.
Oh, was this after all the noise? There was a lot of noise for a couple days.
Yeah, that would have been us. Yeah, we
Drug bust.
we kind of the people who were living here, or the people who were your neighbors beforehand. They were not the greatest people.
Ah, that's too bad.
I don't know what a Zix is, but maybe get ready to bust down the wall. And I cast light on the arrow shaft, and I go, here comes Kay!
I'm assuming you said that via the message stone that we've all just come accustomed to having on our person at all times.
I turned to these two.
Cool. So, I imagine the arrow comes through the wall. I get some light so I can actually see what I'm looking at.
So the arrow shaft gets shoved through the wall, and you take it and pull it through, and it is light.
And I just see
There's one more thing. Give me a second. I gotta switch to the right layer.
you need to give me Zix
Yep. Give me a second.
so I can appropriately respond to Zix. Zix appears to have a pile of money in our basement.
Yeah.
Or his area of our home.
Yeah.
Is that wealth?
That's what
Jesus,
I fucking
mother of
thought!
God!
Yeah.
That's what I
And-
fucking thought! You
So
said
in
one
front of
eye,
you-
it's a fucking beholder.
So in front of you is a spectator.
Oh.
A spectator, a lesser version of a beholder. These are usually summoned. Actually, roll me a knowledge arcana.
I guess I have to do
Oh,
it.
wait,
you guys
I
don't know what
You
I'm
guys don't
looking
know
at.
what you don't know.
Yeah.
No one else knows what Zix is. Okay, there's a beholder in front of you, but it doesn't seem hostile.
Yes, well, I've already had my panic attack, so
And I
I'm just
don't
like,
think you can fit through that hole. I imagine that Kay is at some point just like, should I try to fit back through the hole?
Oh, fuck.
so Kay is going to just ask like, so what do you do here, Zix?
I do a lot of things. Don't know how to float around. I've been learning jokes. I sometimes collect things. I like collecting things. I was told to watch over a thing. I was summoned in here, and then I was given a bracelet. I was like, protect this. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then the person who summoned me, I don't know where they went. But then I was like, then I saw another bracelet. And I'm like, I'm supposed to protect these things. And so I collected it, and then I brought it back, and I added it to my pile. And you look at this pile, and it's not coins. Like, that was just the asset that I had at the time.
Yeah, it's fine.
But there's a
just
whole bunch of bracelets of varying sorts. Some like little like plastic bracelets that you'd see in like a dollar store. The little like you take it, you slap it on your wrist, and it coils around type of bracelet. Basically, any bracelet that Zick could find, he's been adding to the collection. So it is a pile of miscellaneous bracelets.
Okay. Neat. Just out of curiosity, Zix, how do you get out of here? because there doesn't you obviously have a way in. I came in through a tiny little crack in the wall. I don't get how to get out.
That's a good question.
And
How did you go? I'm like, because Kay's legitimately asking, like, how did you manage to get all of these bracelets here?
Yeah, and he's like, kind of like, stops and thinks to himself. It's like,
How do I get out of here?
and then as he's kind of like fixating and focusing, he's suddenly not in front of you anymore. And you look around the room, and he's appeared over here. And he kind of turns back like,
It just kind of happens sometimes.
like I'm just like,
I kind of will go for a walk, and then suddenly I'll be like, oh, I'm out for a walk. Neat. And I'll go and I'll find things and I'll do things and I'll be like, ooh, look, a bracelet. I should put that in my pile. And then I'll be back in my pile and I'll put it in my pile. You know, isn't that how it works?
and like the whole eye just kind of like bobbles to the side of it.
No.
Kay,
You okay there,
Kay-
Jamie?
No, I'm
Hey,
picturing it.
Kay's immediate response is neat, followed by the phrase, "Do you want to be friends?"
Sure. I don't have any friends. I'm
Cool.
6.
Do we
Hi,
have a pet
I'm Nick.
beholder now?
Bitch, I have a pet beholder, and he is my friend.
You're
So,
still stuck in a room for the next 24 hours.
I mean, I have ways of getting out, sort of.
So we've established that Kay's in a room. He's not trapped in a wall. Can
Oh,
we,
yeah.
just search the hell out of like every part of the basement to see if there was like a special hidden door?
You're searching and even after Theo had gone through, like Theo was like, and like especially once Kay was in his house, Theo was like looking to try and find any passageway through.
There's really nothing.
It appears to be solid.
So, Kay is
That
going to turn to Zix and be like, "Hey, Zix,
What?
do you think we can make a door to my side so that we can like be like roommates and friends? So I can come visit you whenever I want.
A
We
door?
can hang out. Because you can just go to the other side of the wall, but I can't do that like you can. And
I guess you'd need a door. You have to open those with hands, right? I don't have hands.
And kind of like flails around the like 4 eye stalks it has.
Kay's like, well, really, we just need a hole in the wall. I just want to make sure you're okay with making a hole in the wall real quick. Like, I just want to make sure that breaking the wall is not under any circumstances going to be surprise he is now hostile.
A hole in the wall? That's doable.
And you just see one of the eye stalks flick up, pointing at the wall, as this red beam fires out of its eye and hits the wall.
And hold on. So as I'm doing this, as Kay is witnessing him doing this, Kay is going to get on the message stone and say 2 things. First, don't be mad, and second, get away from the walls.
Why is it as soon as you say "don't be mad," my first instinct is to be mad?
As you're saying that, Theo, it's like, why is it as soon as you say "don't be mad," my first instinct, and then suddenly a chunk of the wall bursts open.
Where?
And right here, I'll just
All right.
draw shape. Right here, there's like a 5-foot chunk of a wall that just gets blasted open, spewing debris out this way. And make me a dex save just for shits and giggles.
I was wondering. That's basically what
Shits
I
and
wanted to
giggles.
start at. Save. It's a 10.
10. Some of the debris comes like flailing by. A small rock does like bounce itself off your forehead. You don't take any damage, but just like, ow, bugger off.
What did you do, Kay?
So Kay's gonna everyone can see, Kay's gonna like rush over to the hole in the wall, poke his head through, and say, "I made a friend. Don't
made a
attack him."
And as you say, I made a friend. Like, don't hack. Like, I imagine you're like leaning through the hole, and like, I made a friend. Don't hack. And like, as Kay is saying this, Zix also leans his like entire body and head over, so it's like just above Kay's head. It's like,
Hi, I'm Zix.
Is this the moment where we
Do I
all make
know what it
arcana
is?
checks? To see if we know what this is.
everyone can make an Arcana check to see if they know what you're looking at.
That's a 10.
That's a lot of eyes. More eyes.
Regardless of what we're
Well,
like, ah!
So Sylvania, or I guess Annah and Theo, you're like, oh fuck, that's a beholder. Sylvania, you realize that's a spectator.
No.
Spectators are usually a summon. They are a lesser type of beholder. They do still wield quite a bit of power, but they're usually summoned, given a task, and will complete that task until it has been and will like do that until it's been completed. In instances where it's like, protect this thing, they'll protect it until they're told not to.
Does it have to be the person that summoned it that tells them to stop?
Yes, that.
Usually,
Okay.
because the person who summons them will task them with protect this thing. And until that person tells them you don't have to protect this thing anymore, they will stay there and protect it.
We have a mini beholder that lives in our basement that has a
So-
bracelet file.
Actually, so because Kay is curious now, so Kay's gonna ask Zix. So Zix, because you're protecting your bracelet, right?
Yeah.
Does it
And
have
a whole
to
bunch
stay
of them.
here?
And like as soon as he's like, I got a whole bunch of, he like kind of floats away and like uses his eye stalks and scoops up a whole bunch of bracelets and kind of floats back. So you see this spectator with just lines of bracelets all on its eye stalks. It's kind of like jiggling them around, so you just hear the clanging, clattering of the different bracelets jingling together.
So Kay is gonna ask very, very specifically. So if I take the bracelet you're protecting, does that mean you get to come with me?
No, you can't take it.
Okay, so it has to
like,
stay here.
As it says that its eye flashes like red, like its like main eye flashes red, and then after it's like it like goes back to you. I was like,
No, it's mine. It has to stay here. I was
Okay,
told
cool.
to protect it. I'm supposed to keep it here.
Perfect. Second, have you thought of organizing them in a display case-like style to make them look really awesome instead of just having them in a pile?
I don't have a display case, so I just made it in a pile.
Syl, can we make... Kay is ignoring the fact that I'm having a conversation what most of us think is a beholder behind me, terrified of the last time this happened. And Kay is immediately going to... No, Kay is going to turn to Syl and go, can we build some neat little shelves for this dude?
Time out, please. Time out, please.
Can we huddle?
Huddle.
Can we have a huddle?
Right now.
Ooh, I like huddle.
and like Zix like floats over and like plunkers down like right beside you. Like,
What are we huddling for?
We're all in a huddle.
Zix, it is a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sylvania.
Hi,
Who
Sylvania. I'm
summoned
Zix.
you? Who summoned you?
I don't know. I don't remember. He didn't tell me a name. But he told me protect his bracelet, and so I have. I've been doing a
Do you
very good
remember
job.
what he looks
I
like?
even got more bracelets to protect.
Do you remember what he looks like?
Old. Kind of bald. Really, really big glasses. You know, if you poke the lenses out, you could almost use the like rings of glasses as bracelets.
And like the
That
whole
ring-
body just kind of like vibrating and shaking its head up and down.
Is that like a description of some infamous man that we might know for some reason?
Not even remotely.
Yeah, alright. Figured it was just too
Like every
generic.
other man. It sounds like every other fucking wizard character out there that would summon us.
Do you know what race the person who summoned you was? Like, was he human, an elf, orc?
Looks at each of the four of you.
Looks like this one,
And like floats over by Theo.
except like lot less hair.
Oh, wait, you just said they were bald. I had a moment. I thought you were saying I was a hairy beast. Which I'm not, thank you.
No, because Theo has long white hair, and he's like, less hair.
Did your master leave a way for you to contact him?
I mean, he lived here for a while, but then he left. Or died. I don't know, it's been a while.
Died?
If we confirmed that he died, would you be released from your task?
Nope. I do my job until the job is done.
Huh.
How do you know the job is done?
I don't know.
I think we're forgetting an important question. What was so important that Zix needed to be summoned for it? What bracelet are you protecting?
Yeah.
And Zix like floats back into the other room and like scoops up a bracelet and brings it back in. And like it when it went back in, it dumped all the other bracelets off and just is carrying the one on its eye stalk. And it's like, this one! And the bracelet's about that thick and is covered in runes.
Arcana check.
Zix, would I be allowed to cast Identify on it? I'm not going to take it away. I would just like to learn what it is.
No touching.
We won't touch it. We promise we won't touch it. We just want to look very hard at it.
Identify says you have to be able to touch it. So
Oh,
if he
shit.
says no touching, I can't cast Identify.
Not even a tiny little pinky finger?
Nope. No touching. Very important that I protect this bracelet.
And like floats back into the other room and puts it back down.
Okay.
What if you are holding it the whole time and I just touch it a little bit to cast my spell? It won't
No
hurt
touching.
it.
That was Master's order. I must protect the bracelet from everyone.
Can I make a picture of it? Can I draw it so I can appreciate its beauty?
You can draw it, but you can't touch it.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I want to go and grab some drawing stuff.
Okay.
And get the runes specifically in the order. So not necessarily drawing the bracelet, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. This is what we have in our basement. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
I have a new friend, and you know what? I have a plan for what we can use our new friend for.
Theo is flabbergasted, but I'm gonna tell you, like, this is Jamie talking. Jamie doesn't want to kill this thing. There might be a real powerful fucking magical item in our basement. Jamie doesn't want to fucking kill this thing.
No.
This is endearing. Also, morally psychotic, but that's fine.
No.
Fuck you, dear.
No, Kay's gonna propose that the basement now becomes our storage area, and we put a spotlight on Zix's bracelet in the middle of our basement. So if anyone dares enter our basement, they're like, "Look, this valuable thing. I'm going to take it." And then Zix shows up and murders their masses. We have infinite security in our basement for all of our goods.
I know
Well, not
you're
infinite,
a
but, like-
spectator. Do I know if spectators can see invisible things?
All those eyes. They gotta be magic eyes.
Yep.
Also, its passive perception is like stupid high,
Yes.
I think.
With this 16, you would not know whether they can see invisible things or not.
Okay. I'm going to cast invisibility on myself. I'll roll for the surge.
Okay.
That was close.
Almost.
Oh.
Yeesh.
But I'm just going to, like, as invisible, just hop into the room and kind of just, like, walk around, like, sort of walk towards the pile and see if Zig's, like,
Roll me stealth.
watches.
Also, are you in your armor?
Yes. So that's a 7.
As you go invisible, and you go walking past Zix, you watch all 4 eyes track your movement. Like, the main eye is still, like, looking at the rest of the party as Zix is talking with it, but you watch all 4 other eyes, like, tracking your movement.
I have concluded that Zix can see invisible things, therefore I cannot identify well invisible. Yeah, I'm going to lose concentration on identify and just, like, stand near Kay.
Ah, that's a neat trick.
Zix, how have you been surviving? I Theo like looks in the room, realizes that it's just a friggin' room, so it's like how
Kay's gonna respond with he teleports.
Oh, I teleport, but I can also do this.
And then you just watch it like close its eye real tight, and it's like, and then suddenly like a sandwich appears in the air in front of it, and it's like, ah, and then chomps down on the sandwich.
just made a sandwich of in air. Oh my god.
Actually, the great thing is, spectators by like raw can use create food and water to magically create enough food and water to sustain itself for 24 hours every 24 hours.
Oh my god.
But like Goodberry, like it just whatever it eats fills it and gives it all nutrients. Interesting.
It can continue to feed itself indefinitely.
Oh my god, that's fun.
I'm at
That's
a
why I
complete
think
loss for words.
It's why it's good for security. So at this point, I figure just this part of the basement needs to be now super decked out.
Wait. Time out.
Time out?
We-
What?
And like takes its like eye socks and like what?
Stop being cute. Can you give us like 5 minutes? I think we need to have a quick conversation. Just because I don't know if you've noticed, but we are now the new owners of this building.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what Kay said.
Yes.
He said he moved in like a little while ago.
Yes, and we have another friend who works for us upstairs. And I'm sorry to say,
Oh, the big green lady.
You've met.
Met? No.
Okay.
Seen? Yes.
No, seen, yes. How? Oh, okay. All right then. So you've been aware that we've been living here.
Well, I saw her. I haven't seen you guys yet.
Okay. Well, and it's just
Kay said that you guys moved in after the noisy days.
yes, there were some noisy days indeed.
Kay's also going to pipe up. Zix says he's been here for somewhere between a decade and a century.
Oh fuck. Okay. All right. We need a quick just a 5-minute chat. Just a 5-minute chat.
Okay, what are we chatting about?
No. We're going to chat. You need. Can you wait by your bracelet pile just for?
I'll watch.
Question.
And like goes
Okay.
over and just like like all 5 eyes just like staring at the pile.
And then we all just casually move over here for like a little bit of a conversation.
So, Syl, you seem to know what the heck this is. This looks like a beholder to me. Is that what it is?
No, that is for a beholder. This is a spectator. Kind of like, I don't want to say baby beholder because that makes you think that it will grow up into a beholder, but a baby beholder that never grows up.
Like a lesser beholder?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a drake is to a dragon.
Are they dangerous? Are we? I'm not going to lie. He seems quite focused on his task of protecting the one bracelet.
So,
In fact,
the answer to that question is, if we try to take if we do something that it considers against its directive, it will become dangerous. The 4 of us might be able to deal with it. Maybe.
Or
Kind of just sits there, thinks about it for a moment. Maybe.
we could just, leave him in our basement with his bracelet.
But otherwise, the one thing I'm worried about for leaving him down here is we have no way to complete his task. Because, protecting it just means protecting it till it doesn't exist anymore, if I understand that correctly. And, the last thing we need is some guy breaking into our house who controls him, tells him that us living here is putting the thing in danger, and then him attacking all of us.
I mean, do we try and find his old master? Is that what we do? At the very least, we can't do anything.
It wasn't very good.
No, that's very true. It looks like me, but no hair. I don't know if that means
Elf.
An
Yeah.
elf
Old and wrinkled with really big glasses.
with really big
A
glasses.
really old
The
elf.
old elf. Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I don't. For elves to get that old, we have to be pretty old. Like, I'm trying to remember what the age range of elves are in Dungeons and Dragons.
Over 1,000.
I guess.
Yeah.
That being said, Sylvania, roll me a insight. Actually, Theo, you can roll me an insight too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm hoping he meant more of a human instead of. I'm so sorry, I'm wrong.
So
For the
19,
first
24.
time in forever.
So
Wow.
Theo, both you and Sylvania kind of like this person might not even necessarily be an elf, but just looked most like me out of the party.
Yeah, so it might be
Because we've
just
got
a humanoid.
lanky ass white
Yeah.
boy, we've
Yeah.
got tiny purple goblin,
Mhm.
we've got purple haired gnome, and then we have tall, kind of bookish looking elf.
Yeah.
Like even just like general physical, it's like, oh, it looks more like this person than anyone else in the room. Like, so it could,
likely
it might be a
wizard.
human, it might be, they could have had green skin, but just had more closer to your like build.
Could be
I
a
feel
lich.
insulted now.
We know so little about.
That it was likely a wizard, possibly like a sorcerer, likely a wizard, summoning something that powerful. I'm going someone who's studied.
Kay's gonna be like, I mean, the only thing that makes sense is if we go to the university, check out the archives, see if there's
I was
any
thinking
record.
going talking with Inra and getting the records on the house, see if we can figure out someone who sort of matches this description that's hopefully still alive, who owned this before our previous owners.
I mean, it's a start.
I'll look into
I
the
think-
bracelet.
Yeah. Yes, we can go take a look and see if we can see anything on the bracelet. Did the runes look recognizable, or did they look really old?
The runes look really old.
Okay.
But, you know,
That
that could be the artifact is really old, but it's been here for a little while, or it's been here for a really, really, really long time. You don't know.
also, Aaron, for the record, my draconic knowledge turned into infernal knowledge, so
Good to know.
I guess that means at the moment we have no choice but to keep him here and just make sure we tell everyone, don't touch the fucking bracelet, for the love of God.
It's been fine so far.
Yeah,
So-
honestly, I would avoid going in that room just in case, because the longer a spectator watches something, the more crazy they tend to go.
I've noticed,
That's why I love fucking spectators. They're great.
and I think, he's got quite the collection of bracelets in there, and
There's a lot of bracelets.
Well, and that's the thing that worries me is he's already twisted his goal, because
Yes.
his goal was to watch one bracelet. Now he's collecting all
A
bracelets.
bunch. Yes,
It's
he's
like-
collecting all bracelets.
And like that
So-
shows like the twisting of the goal, and if he twists it enough, we are in danger.
Yes, indeed. Oh,
So I would avoid the basement altogether for a bit until hopefully we can get him released.
mhm.
that could. I mean, that could also be a thing to look up at the University Magical Institute shenanigans place, is on whether or not we can unbind a beholder without, touching the object.
I don't believe we can because we're not the ones
Yeah.
that summoned him.
Yeah,
Like our way to unbind him would be
to kill him.
Yeah.
So it's an
And as you're
Yeah.
talking about, like, our way to unbind him would be to kill him. It's like you just hear behind you as Zix is like right here.
Yeah, don't do that. That would hurt. I don't want to die.
no, yes, no, we don't want to do
want
that.
to kill you. That's what we were talking about. It's like
That's good. I don't want to die.
can't
I like
release
this
him
place.
under task, so we want to find the person that can.
Well, I mean, I've got my task. I guard the one bracelet.
Yes. But
Yeah,
we
we
think, you
want to
know,
find the person that can tell you you don't have to guard it anymore.
but I like guarding it. And then I collected other ones so that I could have more things to play with. Like this one.
And like poofs out of existence and comes back with another bracelet, and it's one of like the once again like the you straighten it out and then you slap it onto your wrist. It's like these ones are fun, and like slaps it onto like Theo's wrist. It's like see, it wraps around your wrist, and then you take it off, and then you can put it on someone else's wrist.
Where did you find
On my
that?
wrist.
Oh, I find these all over the place. Sometimes in the gutter, sometimes in stores. You know, they're fun.
I don't know.
Wait, do you just randomly pop up in stores, grab a bracelet, and disappear?
And there's just silence from Zix. It's just like contemplating that. It's like,
I guess.
Please don't. Oh, please don't actually do that. You will terrify people. There will be mass panic in the streets.
Okay, I won't do that. I'll be very quiet.
and like brings one of its tentacles up in front of his mouth.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay then. Well, Zix,
Yeah.
we've been here for a really long time.
Mhm.
And so we've decided that for now, we do feel really bad that your original summoner has summoned you and kind of just left you here by yourself. It seems like you've been here for a very long time without even telling him, without even them telling you where they were going. So we're just going to, try and figure out what happened to that person, just because it might be good information to know.
Okay.
In the meantime, you are free to stay here. We're going to tell everyone not to touch your bracelet.
Good. And if they try, I'll tell them also. And if they keep trying, then
Yes.
things happen.
Also, I see you have a beautiful collection in a pile that you love to play with. If you go finding more, it would be good if you, try not to cause suspicion. Just like you did before, finding them
Try
and
not to grab ones that people are currently using.
Yes.
People get upset.
Oh wait, I don't
about
take
that
them off
sort
of people because those are their braces to protect.
I'm glad
Don't
you
take
understand.
The ones, out of people's houses, preferably. Either.
Huh?
Just like how you have your pile there.
This whole thing
You're
just
not
switched.
The whole thing just tilts, yes.
You're not currently wearing it, but those are your bracelets, right?
I mean, I guess.
So if you go into someone's house and they have a bracelet in a drawer or on a shelf, that's still theirs to protect. They're just not currently wearing it.
I guess.
So it would be preferable that you don't take those ones because then you're stealing someone else's job and no one likes
Okay.
Yes. Also, we do run a tavern above here. Please try not to take any of the customers' bracelets as well.
It's too noisy in there, so I don't like going in there.
Good. Good to know. Good to know. All right then. Well, do you need
I
anything?
do like the kitchen though. There's fun things in the kitchen.
We're going to have a talk upstairs real soon.
Before Cran's suddenly spooked
Before
by the
Cran is
things.
spooked by this. Yep. So I think that's what I think the next little bit is don't touch anything
In the basement.
in the basement, all ye, unless thee want to suffer a most terrible death.
Hey,
Right.
Six, question for you.
What?
This room we're standing in right now used to have a bunch of equipment and stuff in it.
Yeah, I couldn't take it out during the
wondering-
noisy days.
Yeah, that was during people were here who owned that were before us.
Yeah, they built
None
the
of those
wall.
people were your master, right? That was after your master?
No, they built the wall. They gave me my own room.
Okay.
They
so
knew about
they
you.
built the wall.
Huh.
Okay, so it's probably the person before. Was there anyone between your master and those people?
I don't remember.
You can't remember.
Well, we're just going to have to go, and we're going to have to hit the books and figure it out. Do you think that's okay, Sylvania?
Yes.
Hasn't killed us yet. He hasn't killed us yet.
He hasn't killed us yet. And it won't happen as long as we don't touch your bracelet, correct?
Yeah, don't touch my bracelet. Then I don't have to hurt people.
Exactly.
I
All
like
right,
my
then.
bracelet. I have to protect it. It is a very good
At
bracelet.
The moment, this seems very black and white. So, you know. And then maybe Kay can come down here and you guys can play little fun little games for a little bit.
Make bracelets.
Make bracelets.
You can make bracelets?
Yes, you can. You can make bracelets. Did you know
And
that?
Kay will definitely come down to make bracelets with you.
You can make them. You can make them out of beautiful bunch of colors. You can add beads and charms, and there's some bracelets called friendship bracelets.
And like looks over at Kay. Like,
We're friends. We need to make those.
Kay's like, "Yep, I'll go shopping for stuff later."
Okay.
Okay, then.
Oh, this is, when Kay is like, "What time is I need to? I'm gonna go get stuff to do with my friend," and
Yeah.
Kay's just gonna yeet. He's gonna go. I'm on a venture to go buy things. Whee!
I'm gonna go.
I think the rest of us need to go make friendship bracelets with Inra.
Yeah. Yes. We need to go make bracelets.
before Indra
with our
finds out you have the
friends.
spectator in your basement.
Yes. I mean, he's very sweet. Madness aside.
See, the great thing is, he's been here this whole time.
Yeah.
So even when you guys were investigating this place, he was back there.
Yeah.
But you guys
Playing with the
didn't have
bracelets.
perception checks to hear him giggling in the background. So
Yeah.
you didn't go in. You could have encountered him at that point too.
Yeah. Well, all right then.
He is a joy.
To someone, I'm sure.
Do I
Zix,
still have
touch
the
the D-
slap bracelet
100%, unless you've taken it off.
on? Am I? Zix, do you want this one back? I'd feel horrible if I accidentally took it.
I mean, I put it on you, so if you want it, you can have it.
Okay, I guess
You have a slap bracelet.
I have a slap. I can't take it off. I'm afraid to touch it.
Kay's gonna make ask the question: has anyone detected magic to notice if there are any other magical bracelets in his pile?
No one has.
I can do that right now. I will cast Detect Magic.
I wanted to identify the one he was told to defend because I thought that would be the most interesting one. But
It would. Oh, it definitely is, but that also requires combat
Yeah.
at this time.
I did not. I didn't roll a surge.
You didn't surge. So you cast Detect Magic,
Mhm.
and one moment. Okay, so you cast Detect Magic, and obviously, Zix is magic.
Mhm.
Within his pile, there are various glistens of magic. The bracelet that he was told to protect
It's super magical.
is magical as fuck.
Imagine if it wasn't.
It blinds
He's just
me.
protecting
"Oh,
some
God!"
mundane bracelet.
Yeah, we were told to
I was
protect
kinda-
one of the flap ones.
I was kind of hoping it was the Monday bracelet. But
The bracelet that he is tasked with protecting
Mhm.
has necromancy, evocation, conjuration, and abjuration magic on it.
Jeez.
Necro, conjuration.
half of them,
Evocation.
half the schools.
It
Abjuration.
has half the schools. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I keep that to myself. and I'll wait till we go upstairs, and I'll just quickly put one hand on Anna's shoulder and the other on Syl's shoulder, and I'll duck down to their height, and I'll go, that thing is fucking magical, and it actually kind of scares me.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah,
look into it.
I do not want... Whisper. I do not want one of those in my basement.
Yeah.
The last
he's
time I had a
sweet,
weird
but-
creature in my place and that I didn't understand and didn't remove, I somehow ended up with dog. That was a good outcome, but the next one might not be.
He's sweet, but just...
So, for the record, as Kay has yeeted himself out of the basement at this point anyways, Kay is going to the market to, acquire some bracelets for trading with Zix, because I want to find some cool-looking bracelets. Specifically, they need to look cool and shiny and interesting to see if I can maybe trade him for one of his magical bracelets.
Okay.
And second, I'm going to be shopping for arbitrary crafting items, including but not limited to scraps of leather, string, beads, and other riff-raff that can be turned into bracelets, so we can have a bracelet making party in the basement.
Okay.
Then we need to go talk to Cram.
If you're buying a whole bunch of different things, like a bunch of different bracelets and stuff like that, you're probably looking at about 3 gold to just get like a bunch of bracelets, a whole bunch of materials to make more bracelets and stuff like that.
Yep.
Although, Hurricane 69 says, teach him 5-strand braiding and get him confused.
Yes.
Because he only has the 4 high stocks.
I'm not gonna... 5-strand braiding is not easy.
Has Anna left the basement? Real quick.
That's up to Anna.
All right. Before Anna leaves, she wants to ask Vix, what's the beholder's favorite snack?
Tuna?
Ice cream!
Like,
I see what you did there.
yeah, and then she'll leave.
And as you head up, you just hear him giggling himself.
Ice cream.
All right. Who's gonna go? All right. Who wants to go out to see information we can find on who the hell owned this place first?
To Inra!
To
Oh,
Inra.
yeah.
So, before we go, I just go. Hey, do we still have any sign making equipment?
There's
We don't
definitely
have to
wood
make
and
it.
stuff like that around. Cran still has some paint.
And yeah, I literally grab anything of that, like a piece of parchment, and I just write, "Do not enter."
Well, I mean, by all accounts, in order to enter there, you have to go through your bookcase door.
I don't. Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. They have to go to the bookcase door. I'm just gonna.
We should maybe put some books on the bookcase.
Yeah, let's put.
Yeah,
Some
currently it
books
is
on
just the one that you
bookcase.
have to pull to open the door.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll just make some fake. But we'll have to just go out and buy some random books. I have some random books. I put the weight of his burden on them. I will remove the weight of
That
his
shelf just
burden.
gives me full of smut.
Yeah. We have to go book shopping.
It will be the bookshelf so smutty that anyone who even looks at it will just blush and walk away
Yes.
from it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is an excellent idea. Let's do it.
Just some cringy fan fiction in there too.
Yes. Not like the really
It has to be. It has to be like
Velvety
junior
Shaft
fan
or the
fiction,
Velvety
though.
Sheathed Hardness 50 times in a book style.
Yes.
It's the first time someone writes smut, but like they're going hard into it. They're just
hard.
not really good at writing yet.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the party has now met Zix, your other tenant.
Yeah. And now we get our other
Like
tenant
Marcus Bennett.
who are so not charging rent.
No.
Right now, I'm just hoping we don't have to kill the poor guy.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
me I don't want to kill him.
I bow out. Anna cannot kill him.
I don't think Theo can either.
I'd rather live in fear than try and kill that thing.
Well, and see that's the great thing about because as Sylvania pointed out, spectators, the longer they're around, the crazier they get. And it's could you kill it? Plausibly. But at the same time, it's is there a need to?
I want that bracelet for what?
Oh, it is.
Which is why Kay went shopping for some cool looking bracelets, so he might not be able to trade for,
No,
the
I want
God-fearing
the
one?
bracelet, not a magical bracelet. I want
then
the
you
magical
then,
bracelet.
then you can go fight Zix in the basement alone.
And then also probably have the rest of the party try and murder you when they find out you killed Zix.
I mean, let's be clear. I don't think Theo, Anna, or myself would try and murder Syl. We
No.
just want,
No.
but we want to feign ignorance in the act of Syl murdering Zix. If it's happened, well, we'll let bygones be bygones eventually. But we won't try to kill Syl. We know how
I
much
can never take this
potential
side
problem that
bracelet
is.
off.
Yeah,
I can never take it off.
I just need to fill a bag of holding with bracelets, get Ziggs to go in to collect them, and then pop the bag of holding.
But see, at that point, that doesn't destroy Zix.
that just makes our bag of holding
It will
useless.
test the limits of his teleportation ability, though.
Oh my god.
Does it let him change planes? I don't know.
That's the great thing about beholders as well, is they will things into and out of existence. Including themselves.
Oh.
Yeah, I think our 2 points are the INRA for the past records and then the bracelet to see if there's some profound owner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we lost a K.
Lost K.
Oh, he's back.
Very good.
So enter for the past owner of the building and any information on the bracelet.
Yeah.
So Theo would like to go to the market and just get every raunchy book he can find.
Okay.
All at once?
You're just gonna walk in, drag a cart up to the freaking romance novel section, hand on the shelf, and just scoop them all off. Oh, we completely lost K.
I think he's having some connection issues.
John, a bard shows up and what's this? Training material?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's it all for? Research.
I mean, Theo did just take a level in bard, so...
Theo took a level in Bard? Oh no.
I have a level in Bard now, yeah.
Think
I
about
don't know how I gained inspiration yet, but I have. I was like, do I cast friends on this guy? He's already pretty friendly.
Yeah, but Jamie, do you have to rescue Husbando from his version of D&D?
No, but from his version of D&D, I do have to do that. As soon as you're ready to go to break, though.
Yeah. In that case, we will call break here. So that way, Husbando can be rescued from diapers and dementia. Was it?
Dementia, yes.
The less fun version of D&D.
Less fun version of D&D, indeed.
Alrighty. But we will be back in 10-ish minutes, and we will continue on from there.
Alright.
So we will be back.
Bye.
Bibbidi,
do.
bobbidi, boop. Oh, K is me, Mel is Mel, I am Jamie. I need to switch things around right here. There we go. Get rid of the no camera for K. Put it on Theo. There we go. I should have done this before, but hey! So the party has found their spectator friend in the basement, Zix. He is a delight.
Yes, he is.
But so what is the party's plan? Who's going where? I know that Thea wanted to go buy lots of raunchy books.
Sylvania's going to go see if Inra's in, or at least her assistant. I guess I don't need to see Inra specifically.
I'll go with Sil.
Okay. And Kay, you were out looking for friendship bracelet stuff, and a whole bunch of
Yes.
bracelets. Okay.
Yeah, because trading, it's important. It's a sign.
Yeah,
of
it's like trading Pokemon cards.
Exactly. I just want to trade for bracelets that aren't the all-powerful, terrifying one.
Fair. And I mean, it only has 4 schools of magic on it.
That's still a third of the schools of magic.
All the bad ones.
But so going down to the guard outpost, you head inside, and the lovely old lady is sitting there, and she kind of, oh, it's you. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you doing? And she kind of sets her book down, and
Yeah, I kind of hop up, and I'm like, been better.
oh, that's unfortunate. Hopefully things will get better for you soon. What can I help you with?
We were hoping to get access to the ownership records of our current tavern and who owned it, preferably before, like, even the people before us. So, like, there was the people that got kicked out of there, and then we bought it from the city, and we want to find.
Oh yes, because you're in the
records.
old Adder's place.
Yeah.
Just the residential history, going as far back as the records have.
Let me take a look here. And she goes and so I don't have it listed here. Currently, we only have records of the Death Adders here at the guard outpost. You should be able to check up at the at the main library. They should have the residence records for the place.
Okay. Is that in Uptown where we need to get a pass, or is that?
Oh no, that'd be in the Middle District.
Okay.
Perfect.
And she gives you directions on how to get there. But hopefully things get better for you.
Yeah. Curious. While I'm here,
yes.
hypothetical. If there was like a spectator infestation in a house, would that need to
Spectator?
be
You mean like
reported?
voyeurism?
Like what?
So, I think the college would be able to help us with that more. Let's go. Leave a wonderful lady to her wonderful book.
The thing is, Anna wouldn't know that.
Oh, I suppose I wouldn't.
Mel knows that, but Anna thought that the Silken Touch was actually, to be fair, the entire party thought the Silken Touch was a perfectly normal tavern name.
No, not whatever you just said. Strange thing, big eye, 4 eye stalks.
Have you been drinking?
I will take that as a no. Okay, bye.
Have a great day. I hope you feel better soon.
Enjoy your book. Run.
And she picks her book back up, and on the front you just see it's the picture of a person that pulling the glasses down, just looking over the rim of the glasses as the cover.
You bastard.
Yeah, so you can head up to library and be able to check there, and you are able to find records. And because you are the current owners of the house, you're able to find records of the previous residents who had owned it prior. Prior to you was the Death Adders Guild. Prior to that was a person named Lorik Tikarel. Prior to that was a person named Kale Olekson. And prior to that was a person named Oleg Ivanson.
What was the second last one?
Kale
Kale.
Olixon.
And the last one?
Oleg Ivanson.
A father-son thing going on, maybe? No, I guess that'd be last name. I don't know. Just feels weird. It's really oddly.
That is actually how names work in some places. Norway specifically, if your father is Per, then your last name when you take over any of the part of the land would actually be considered Persson, because you're Per's son. And so it actually the names change each generation because it's son of previous person.
You're
So-
taking that Icelandic, I think it's Icelandic tradition or Nordic tradition.
Norse
for
do it as
naming.
well.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And even that was something that I learned from my grandpa, who is Norse. I am 50% Norse.
Okay.
Yeah. So based off of that, Keo Olixon is Oleg Ivanson's son.
Fuck, thank God. I don't want to sound like an idiot on the internet. Okay.
I'm on the internet and I'm talking, so I already sound like an idiot on the internet. So
So that's it. 1, 2, 4,
Uh,
5 owners.
does
including us.
this record have like any improvements put to the house? Like, could I see that? Does it tell us like who put the basement in?
it does not. You are able to find, you're able to access blueprints of the house. And the initial blueprints drawn up at construction included the basement.
Okay, so basement existed the whole time.
It was only blocked off with the Death
With
Adders.
the death
The
adder.
adders blocked off that section of the basement.
Yeah. Which meant
The door or the bookcase door does not exist on the blueprints.
Oh, so that was added in probably by the Death Adder since they were doing illegal shit down there. Are we able to get any information on those 3 people, Olak, Kale, and Lorik?
No, the only things they have is the name.
Okay.
we'll have to sleuth outside the library. Actually, does the library have like the other than the resident? Yeah, never mind. No, we'll figure it out. We'll talk to Inra or something.
What were you thinking?
Like looking them up in the library to see if they're famous wizards or something. But that's a crapshoot. I feel.
I mean, you could.
Could
You
at
could
least
try.
ask a librarian about the names and be
Yeah.
like, hey, are any of these like super notable for this area?
Authors, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Since we're here.
Yep.
Yeah. Ask about the names.
So you ask the librarian about the people, and like the librarian doesn't recognize any of the names. And they're like, why you? Is there anything in particular about these people you're trying to find out?
They were the previous owners of our tavern, and one of them left something in the basement that we think they might want back.
Well, I guess at that point you'd have to find out where they are, if they're even alive, I suppose.
We're hoping they're still alive. The thing is kind of important and only works for the person that made it.
That's fair. I suppose at that point, find out if they're alive would be your first go-to. You could check the obituaries and see if they're there.
Oh, the obituaries would
A
work.
great idea.
And kind of points you to a long record. It's a long record of like newspaper clipping type things that you can flip through. And like in them it has like the obituaries at the end of each one. They've got a section that's basically like tapered off to like these are all the obituaries from this time to this time. Roll me investigation checks if you're perusing through those.
You bet. An
Sebastian
11.
apparently got bored of that real quick.
Yeah, so Sylvania, you're like first page, second page. I'm bored.
Wonder what that bracelet does.
Anna, Anna, roll me a. How would this be? Where are the list of checks?
History?
No, not history. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh shit! It's a stick.
You're trying really hard to focus, and you just can't. You're like, there's so many names, and they're not organized alphabetically. And you look at like the long stack of these posts, and you're like,
I think they've forgotten how to read still. Selectively forgotten how to read. I'm done. Can we hire someone to do this?
Back to I want to go back to the librarian first and see first if they do regular censuses and how specific the census data we'd have access to is, because even just knowing the races of the people who own the place previous to us might narrow it down. Because like if Kale and Olak are both like goblins, then we can probably go like based on our description that leaves us with Lorik.
fair. Their census data is not so much this this name is from a person of this race. They have general counts of there are this many humans, there are this many elves, there are this many gnolls, but it's not specifically we have Lorik Tikarel, who is this race and this age or anything like that. Like it's
okay.
They had like who owned what building, but not much information beyond that.
Okay, so we'd be able to repeat the information, find out that these three people owned our house again, but not like, oh,
but not that
he's a goblin and owned our building.
Correct. So you need to find out who these people are, if that was your objective.
All right, Anna wants to try and pay someone to look for their names.
Okay. Are you asking like one of the librarians, or are you going to try and find some random person to go looking through?
We'll ask the librarian first.
Okay. I think I've got an intern around here somewhere that I can get to do that.
I will pay them for their troubles.
Charles! And you hear like the pattering of feet. Yeah? Okay. What do you need? These lovely people have a request for you. Charles, can you help them out? Sure. What do you need?
Hi, Charles. I'm Anna. Nice to meet you. I reach
Nice
up.
to meet you all, and reach down, shake your hand.
How much do you make as an intern here?
And you just watch that, like, and you get the feeling that he's an unpaid intern.
All right. I have 3 names. I'm going to give you 2 gold for each name you can find in the obituaries. Scribble on my notes and give them the Lorik, Kale, and Oleg. And be like, I need to find who these people were in the obituaries.
Okay, I love the fact that the Olekson and Oleg is just throwing you for a loop.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
It's like, wait, but it's Kale Olekson, but then there's also Oleg. What? Ah!
My brain. Poor brain.
At least I didn't put 5 in and have you go have Ivan something else.
Yeah, I'm so glad. How does like insight check? Is there like dread? Is it like, oh my god, I have to rifle through the obituaries, or how's he feeling?
Roll me an insight check.
Yeah, I never get. It's a 15.
15. He's kind of dreading it, but it's something for him to do that's not just putting books on shelves, and he
Okay.
gets paid for it. So it's like it's kind of that like this is gonna suck, but at least it's something.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You're getting it,
Paid
Charles.
internship.
unpaid interns. But he goes and he starts perusing through. Are you lingering around the library for him, or
What does ship
Is
did?
there like a mages guild or something in the city? Because like it needs
There are
a
several.
significant mage. Oh crap. Yeah, I was going to say it needs a significant mage to summon a spectator.
yeah, Amadodel is the capital city. There are many guilds here.
We can
Okay,
divide
so
and
there's many
conquer and see if
mages
any.
guilds. There's the
Yeah.
university. Where do we think?
Well, you are comprehending that. Kay, you've gone out. You've procured yourself a plethora of fancy-looking bracelets and various construction materials to make more bracelets.
Yep.
What is your next plan?
First, I want to confirm, what did Theo do? Because
Theo's going and buying smut.
Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna make the general assumption that Theo and I will arrive back at the place, at our place within a relative means. So I'm going to go downstairs.
You absolutely. Theo probably messages you on the message stone as they're like trying to haul this sack of books out from the store, and they're like, "Kay, I know you're in the area. I feel the noodly arms. Can you help me with these books?"
Yeah, I can feel the people talking about you. Get over here. So, I help Theo get back. I have two goals. One of which is to set up a craft making station downstairs. So part of what I'm doing is I'm gonna take the coffee table that I recall being in the living room-esque space at some point or another, and I'm just gonna haul it downstairs with a pillow so I could sit on something, and I lay out the different things we can use to make bracelets for me and Zix. And then I have my bag of bracelets here, and I propose while Theo is putting books on there, I offer Zix a trade. I'm like, Zix, I have some cool bracelets here. I was wondering if, besides the one you're protecting, if I could trade you some of my bracelets for some of your bracelets, so you can expand your collection, and I can have something to remember our friendship by.
I've never traded bracelets before. Is that a thing people do?
Oh, it is.
Like, kind of scratches his chin with one of his eye stalks.
Yeah, we you exchange things that you believe are value to each other, and then that's like a token of remembrance of those other the people or whom you traded with. So whenever you look at a bracelet or a ring or like the friendship bracelets we're going to be making today, we just have more reasons to think of each other.
Neat.
Cool. So Kay is going to be like, because I want to look at the pile of bracelets to see which one I might feel are cool that I want to trade for. Do you mind moving your special bracelet away from the pile just so I don't touch it?
Yeah, I can do that. And goes over and like scoops it up and like moves it over and like, sets it back down. There.
Cool. So Kay, being meticulously insane as he is, with Theo's help, is going to work with Zix to kind of sort them into bracelets into piles of like styles and designs and like shininess and secretly magic.
Okay. How long does
Secretly.
detect magic last?
I have a feeling I might need to roll detect magic for Theo once more, but
Are you starting by grabbing all the magic ones and moving those aside first, or are you kind of like trying to move them aside as you go and not make it very plain, like this is magical, this is magical, this is magical?
So Kay's objective is literally to start putting them in micro piles. So Kay's just going to start sorting them generically speaking, and then my goal is to have Theo like point out the ones of note as we are sorting them. So like even if there's like a gold bracelet, and if there's other gold bracelets, Kay's gonna put them with them, but like put them on the right side. So like I'm still sorting them, but it's not like magic is its own distinct pile. It's noted within the piles themselves.
Okay, you're probably over the course, because of how many bracelets Zix has collected, it's probably going to take about half an hour. So if you're running detect magic through that, roll me 3 surges.
Cool. I'm willing to make this bet on behalf of Jamie. It's fine. So 1d20. 1, 2, 3. No surges.
Did not explode. So the two of you work together, kind of sorting the piles out, and there are probably 9 or 10 bracelets that are magical.
Okay.
In amongst all of them.
Cool. So Kay is going to work with Theo. So Kay has, I don't know however many bracelets on top of the stuff I brought, but Kay's going to show Zix the bag of bracelets and be like, I'll give you all of these cool bracelets if I can pick 4 from your pile for me and my friends.
And like you see Zix like picking up the bracelets that you have or that you brought in, and like picks them up, like squints at it real close. That's a good bracelet. Sets it down. And is like going through and admiring all these different bracelets that you've brought.
And to be clear, yes, when I went shopping, I specifically went shopping with the intent to, 1, buy a boatload of them, but they had to be cool looking. Yeah. They couldn't, which is what I mentioned earlier. It's like they couldn't just be simple bracelet. It had to be something that was different than what I had gleaned from the pile, or like at least good.
Yeah. Okay. So as you like Zix goes through like each of the bracelets and like once again like looks at them, like takes a nice close look at each one, and the like kind of like looks at you, and then like the eye kind of narrows and it kind of looks back to like the bracelet they're protecting, like, not that one.
No. We've already said we don't want that one.
I goes back to being like more yellow and like why? I was like, okay.
Cool. So with Theo's help, because obviously detect magic is a thing and you can get general things. With Theo's help, I want to select which of the insert types of magic here might be most applicable to us, and just be like
of the bracelet, there are 9. There, like once you have them all like spread out, there are 9 bracelets that are magical.
Okay.
There are 2 bracelets that have abjuration magic. There is 1 that has divination magic. There is 2 that have enchantment magic. 1 that has evocation. 1 that has illusion, and 2 that have transmutation.
Cool. So Kay's going to poke up in the message stone, let Zix know. He's like, cool, Zix, I'm just going to describe the bracelets to my friends in our message stone, just so that make sure we get ones that they might like, the color and the style wise. So
what do those do?
Kay's going to pull out or gonna take Theo's rock, pass it to Zix for a sec, and go, hey everyone, just showing Zix the message stone.
And Zix looks at it, and like,
I hear that in my head. Cool, it's like when I do this.
And Zix closes his mouth, and you can hear in the back of your head, I
can talk to you in your head too. Isn't it cool?
And Kay's gonna respond, "Wow, that's neat."
And
And he's going to get
you
the
just
message.
like see this big grin on Zix's face.
Cool. So Kay is going to communicate the breakdown of the magic bracelets to friends to be like, "Hey, which are you grabbing? Or which one would you like us to trade for?"
I don't know what Theo would want. Syl, what are you interested in?
Syl would probably say abjuration. Abjuration's defense and stuff, and magical defenses are kind of a big part of Syl's gig.
Okay, so 1 abjuration for Sylvania.
I'm thinking Kay's gonna go for the illusion. Theo is going to get something when Theo is around.
Yeah, I'll ask Theo. And Anna.
Enchantment, please.
And Kay is going to like select his and immediately put it on his wrist and go, "Oh man, this is super cool, Zix. Do you want to learn how to make friendship bracelets now?"
Yeah, we need to make those. Because we're friends.
Okay,
We need to make those.
And like looks over at Theo.
Are you making one too?
Theo's going.
course!
Theo's going to be like, "Of course."
We're
And
friends.
so
Great. How do you make
So,
these?
all right, cool. So Kay will go out about explaining the different materials we have and the different kinds of bracelets we can make in excruciating detail to the point of which Theo just starts making doing that child one with a string and some beads and just doing a pattern with them to make a really cool thing. Theo's just going to get started because he's like, as soon as this is done, I can give it to the Zix and I can walk away. As soon as this is done, I can give it to Zix. But at the same time, Theo's a perfectionist, so he has to do it right because it can't be bad. It can't just be like rainbow colors. No, it needs to be specifically, intentionally designed.
Yep.
So Theo's just lost in it, and I just take the time to be like, we have leather, we have string, you do different things to it, and you can make different kinds of bracelets.
Okay, I need
Kay's
a
gonna make
performance check from Theo. Actually, no, sleight of hand from Theo.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand from Kay.
Theo's is on the board. 17 for Theo.
17. Okay.
You said sleight of hand from Kay.
Oh,
I'm bad at making bracelets.
Apparently.
Ugh.
Spent so much time describing it that you were describing different methods and you kept changing what method you were using in the middle of making the bracelet.
Yeah, so I have a piece of leather attached to some string glued with some beads, but that doesn't hold together or look like a bracelet.
So Zix has a 10. He lost 6 because he has a -6 to sleight of hand on account of not having hands.
Which is fine.
Light of eye check.
But he's able to he's trying to follow along with Kay and trying to follow along with Theo and just kind of mix and matching things. He ends up having a bead glued to the side of one of his eye stalks. And, but he eventually kind of figures it out. I imagine the two of you are gradually trying to help him out a bit as well.
Oh, of course.
And his second roll was not as bad, or was a bit better. He still has the -6 because of sleight of hand, but he's able to make a couple of okay bracelets. Kay, yours that is this weird amalgamation of various things that doesn't really hold together. He ends up grabbing a string and getting you to glue it onto each end, so at least it's a ring. And then he's like,
Okay, well, I've got a bracelet for you, and he gives you a
bracelet. And
bracelet for you, and
gives one to Theo. And
when the other two get back, we need to make bracelets too. But now I need to put these somewhere because these are friendship bracelets. These are important ones. These need to be protected too.
and he's gonna go and he's gonna set the 2 bracelets that you and Theo made for him, and he's gonna put them down right beside the other one that he has that he had set aside from the others as his like, this is the one I must protect. So he now has 3 bracelets there.
All right, don't touch them.
He counts our friendship bracelets as very important.
That's kind of sweet. This thing is super endearing. It's charming.
Zix is fun. I enjoy
Zix
Zix.
is the big bad guy all along.
My
We're
heart
gonna all
can't
fall in love with him, and then he's going to betray us.
No.
No, I don't think he has the comprehension of betrayal.
Yeah, it won't be his fault. The guy will show up. We'll find out that he is like the frickin'
But see, like, there's part of me though that expects like Zix, if we befriend Zix hard enough, to be in like eternal like an internal conflict, like my command, but what I want, like insert AI programming, but becoming a real boy problems. Here, I feel like that's Kay's secret goal with Zix. It's to make Zix so much of his friend that Zix doesn't want to hurt me. Ever.
But his master is going to turn out to be like the lich that destroyed Anna's town.
Don't give the DM ideas! Last time you did that, a dragon landed on us. Stop!
I wrote.
Hey, I've
plot
also
point.
handed the DM sheets for baby Trasks and
Stop!
I said maybe we can tell him that the Lich wants to destroy his bracelet. Help us in the fight? Question mark. So I'm already thinking of how we can use this back to our advantage. If his protect the bracelet extends to just being in the basement. Anyways.
Well, and that being said, he appears to have no qualms with you being in the basement.
yeah.
Yeah. His qualm is the bracelet.
Yeah, it's like, don't touch the bracelet and you're fine.
That's
Now I
easy.
just need to create a perfect replica and sleight of hand.
See, I feel like he's magically tied to it in some way, though. I think he knows. At least that's the guess I'm having.
Which is
Who knows?
It's a plausible guess.
Plausible doesn't mean Sylvania won't try.
And Sylvania can die. We've established this already.
No. We stop Syl before she does it.
Yeah, so you and Theo spend a bunch of time making bracelets with Zix. Anna, were you and Sylvania staying at the library waiting for Charles to finish?
It probably makes sense for us to just go to as many mage guilds as we can and be like, are any of these people past members, current members, etc.?
Okay.
Yeah, I think split up, like get directions from a guard or something towards all the mage guilds we can get access to. One of us might be good to stop at the uni too and see if they're like previous students or professors or whatever.
I think we should leave that one last because we have business there because they want us to talk to us specifically. So maybe it's when Theo gets back.
Yeah, I was
Add
actually
that to the list
thinking
of things to ask them when we go over.
Yeah, I was thinking that actually once Theo and I finish making bracelets with Zix, that we can head out and aim to meet you guys at the university to meet up with the Silver Dragon Lady. And that can kind of just, you know what? Screw it. Kay's gonna communicate on the stone, meet up at university around X time frame.
Yeah.
We'll meet you there near the early evening-ish, I would assume.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the plan there.
Okay. Anna and Sylvania, you run around to a whole bunch of different mage guilds, asking about the 3 different names. And none of the guilds seem to have any record of any of those people as current or previous members.
Okay.
Wait, so not an important guild member.
If it's evening by this point, before meeting Kay, I would just want to pop back in at the library before Charles has to like leave for the day and see if he made any progress.
Okay. Let's see how well Charles did. Charles got an at 20.
On his con?
Yeah, his con and his investigation.
Right.
Yeah, first on his investigation. He's like,
Right.
okay. And for him, the Constitution motivation was more so, I'm getting paid for this, thank fuck.
Yeah, that's fair.
So when you arrive, he gives you, or he, like, you go back to the library and you go and hunt him down. And he has 3 newspaper clippings. The first one
I don't like the sound of that.
is of Lurk Tikarel, who is deceased.
Okay.
The second one, from quite a number of years earlier, is of Kale Olixon.
Kale.
And from several years prior to that is Kale Olixon.
Okay, so 2 of Kale
On different dates.
on different dates. What the?
Kale died.
Wait.
What?
They were both obituaries?
All 3 are obituaries. Because you paid him to look through the obituaries.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was like newspaper clippings, which are
They're all obituaries.
Shiza. Okay.
Lurk,
Oleg
Kale,
Iverson
and Kale.
wasn't in there, but Kale was in there twice. What? I guess he could have been resurrected. Like that's a thing. Do you get an extra obituary if you get resurrected?
Depends on how many people know you're resurrected, I suppose. I don't know.
How far apart were the years of deceased?
Of the 2 Kales?
Yeah, of the 2 Kales.
7 years.
Okay. Well,
Did Kale fake his own death by killing his father?
And
What do the obituaries say about these people? Like, are any of them obvious, like, wizards? Like, it says, known for his great spell casting.
Not really. Like, well, the obituaries are fairly generic. The obituaries for Kale specifically are along the lines of, like, died in his sleep, no known children, and like for both of them, like they're not like word for word verbatim, but they're both very simple and like, it's like he died of old age in his sleep, no known wife or children, was found dead, no known wife or children. So they're very similar, but not identical, but also 7 years apart. And there was no obituary for Oleg.
What about for Lorik? What did his say?
Lorik's was, Lorik passed away, leaving behind his wife and daughter, and it does not list names for them. And may he find peace as he carries on.
beautiful.
Oh, okay, so
very simple, very generic. Very much like the kind of thing where you kind of imagine it's like they received, okay, such and such a person died, here's the next of kin, and stamp in generic thing because the obituaries aren't being written by family members. They're just, this person died, stamp thing, pass on. This person died, stamp thing, pass on. Unless there was like extenuating circumstances around the death, kind of thing.
So, I'm willing to guess all 3 of them are dead, unless Olok is a frickin' lich. But Yeah, like Kale dying twice. Sylvania pretty much assumes at this point that it's either Olak died and like someone wrote in the wrong name of his son instead. Like Olak or Kale signed the paperwork for his dad having passed away, and then someone took the wrong name and went, "Oh, Kale Olakson died."
We should have asked him to look for a Kaleson, like something Kaleson, and see if. Anyways, I give the guy 6 gold, even
Okay.
though like he came with 3 pieces of info, which were interesting. So I pay up
Okay.
just to square that off, and I tell him we might have more work for you in the future. I like what you did here.
I hope it's not looking through more obituaries. They are incredibly bland.
I hope so too.
Hey, the next one might be all the old newspapers, including the obituary.
And you just watch his face go a little pale.
Give you a lot more gold. Great. Good night, Charles.
Have a good night.
So Anna, but my last thought at this point is passing the 3 names by Zix, seeing if like hearing the name rings a bell. It's like, oh yeah, that was my master. I just forgot because it's been. How long ago did Kale die?
The
First time.
the first time Kale died.
It's been a hot minute.
Let me take a look here. It's been almost 60 years since Kale first died.
Okay, yeah. So like, because it's been 60 years, forgot the name. So hopefully, like hearing the name, it's like, oh yeah, 60 years ago, I remember now.
It's not bad.
Oh, thinking of which, how long ago did Lorik die? Because that would give us an idea of when the Death Adders took over the place. So that would give us a decent idea if it's closer to the decade or closer to the century.
When Lorik died?
Yeah.
His death was 6 years ago.
6?
6.
Okay. So yeah, so if
But
it
there's
was
also nothing
Lorik-
specifying that Lorik died while living in that residence.
Yeah,
Right.
we don't specifically know that, but it's thinking like if Lorik did die, and like that's why the previous owner disappeared is because they died, then it could be closer to the he's been down there for a decade than a century if it was Lorik.
Okay. We should probably meet up at the college and then can run stuff by Zix.
Yeah, we have to go home tonight anyway, so
Yeah.
don't have to rush
Yeah.
home and ask it.
Oh,
I don't
Alrighty.
think spectators sleep.
probably not. Or maybe one eye at a time gets some shut eye. And they just jump.
He
Anyways.
just like over the course of the night, he just wants like one eye close. And then it's like. Yeah, I think we'll call it there for the night then. And we'll start next session with the party meeting up at the college. Thank you to my players for joining me on this clusterfuck and for meeting Zix.
Thank you for creating Zix.
Zix is a delight. I fucking love this character.
Well, you're clearly way too excited to be, like, engaging or seeing Zix. Like, it feels like you were like, they need to meet Zix.
Well, I mean, Cran was going to ask you at some point whether you heard the giggling or not, like, regardless, so. But now you know that you have a spectator in your basement.
And
Might
we
not be the
also-
weirdest thing in your place, but you have a spectator in the basement.
And now Syl can be more chaotic with, a morning star instead of a sword.
Woohoo! Ka-tunk!
All right. Well,
Alrighty, thank you to my players. Have a great night. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in, and we'll be back next week with Mel's campaign, where Mel gets to run 30 more sessions of Fight Club.
No No more Fight Club.
Always
much.
Fight Club.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.